Greetings, salutations, smart, good-looking listeners. Welcome to the Monday edition, week 3 of your new favorite show, The Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 in Madison, worldwide on the iHeartRadio app, streaming live on Facebook, X, and Twitter. And we know it's early, but we're glad you're with us. I'm Drew Olson, joined by Billy Schmidt and Armin Sarian. And Billy came to a stark realization today.
Drew, I know the new hours are different. They're okay. Actually, I have started to like the fact that we are up early enough to be everybody's first taste. We truly do have the full fresh powder in front of us and the full smorgasbord, especially on a Monday, with everything that happened in sports to be able to dive in first. Then I realized today when I went to go get a cup of coffee, because your boy went to bed so early last night, I was asleep before the dishwasher was done.
Man.
So I could put together the coffee pot.
That's like responsible right there, dude, man. You are talking about being ahead of the game.
The boys were asleep last night. I didn't move. It was just about over. And then quickly it's like, all right, well, overshot that. You know what? Shop local, support local, start up the fresh week the best way possible. Maybe a box of Dunkers for the boys.
Come on now.
A box of Glazers for the boys. And a couple of cups of coffee, right? Because your boy kind of definitely missed out on that and going to need to be highly caffeinated on a Monday.
I'm excited to see these Dunkers. What?
I realized we're up before Quick Trip opens.
Yeah. I had that realization a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Well, it depends on the location. Some locations are 24, some aren't. And that's hard. That is hard. Now, it feels good in a way, but then it's like, there's something wrong here. I shouldn't be up before Quick Trip opens.
I'm glad you said it because I did get a warm sense of pride.
Oh, there is pride in that.
We're grinding for everybody else. We're here. We're here to entertain those folks inside of Quick Trip. We be able to help out all of our brew collar brethrens here this morning.
We get up before Quick Trip. We get up before most dairy farmers, I think. I think we get up ahead of everybody except for Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, that's true.
He's the only bastard who gets up earlier than we do.
I remember the first time I don't remember the first realization I had when I was staying up like after bar time, whatever it was, when you hit the McDonald's drive-thru and you realize they switched to breakfast. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, I'm really up late. Like this is the latest. Like I must be 21 now. Because like I can actually go out. I'm really living now. I'm like, man, you guys switched to I'm scrambling at
nothing like a bar with hotcakes and sausage.
Well, and I was all ready to go with the McDouble, McChicken, whatever. Now I'm like, I gotta scramble and make it order.
And then you feel pressure. Armin's got that anxiety.
Oh my gosh.
What do I order? I guess I gotta go biscuit now.
And I'm not one of these guys that checks the bag. Like Laura always gets on me, like, don't you check the order? No. I trust and leave. I trust and leave.
They're gonna get it right.
Was my life gonna change because the one time out of 40 they didn't add an egg McMuffin? Like, come on, no, we're leaving. Let's go.
But yeah, I don't know. The Quick Trip that I frequent the most is on Highway 100 right off of Greenfield, kind of.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that one. Yep. And
that's the closest one inside, like basically from the city. I feel like. Right?
Yeah. That it's Dallas, but Mm-hmm. And then there's one also on Cleveland, which is the old school. It was the KT. It was the now it's a full on Quick Trip.
Yep.
Had a pit stop as like a tobacco
Cleveland
outlet plus grocery or something like that.
Cleveland and Sunny Slope. So those two I go to. I know one is not. I don't know if the one in West Dallas is 24 hours. It might be, but I don't know. But it's interesting because our pal Dobie Maxwell, Mr. Lucky, he used to work at a Quick Trip in Kenosha.
That's right. Yeah.
And he worked the late shift because he had, comedian hours and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he basically was working like us in this time of day. And that was open 24 hours. And when they had the unrest there with the riots, the whole BLM and stuff, the police came, and he was not far from where the riots were taking place and the whole Rittenhouse episode and all that. And the police came and said, you guys are gonna have to shut down. We want you to shut down. And Dobie was working, and he's like, nobody knows where the keys are. Like
I would love to oblige.
No one has locked the store since it opened. And I don't know where the keys are. I couldn't lock the place up if I wanted to. Yeah, if I wanted to lock the place up.
Dobie always finds himself in these situations. It seems like, another book on the way, and after that one, that's what he was thinking.
I truly did think Quick Trip the lights only had one switch on.
Well, and Lord knows we've been to a lot of them coming back from Packer games, and the rural ones are the ones that are open.
Well, I'm guessing the ones right off of the freeway, again, are going to be the ones probably not
stops.
Inside of the suburbs where, again, they think most people are sleeping at this moment. But it was a stark realization of, wow, this stuff is very much early. However, we get through this adversity together. And it also just means that we're going to have to find another day to get dunkers.
I got to be heavily caffeinated today as well, because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I napped during the Bucks game.
That's tough.
And they put me out, man. Yeah. They put me out. It was really just so brutal. I was trying to watch it. It was the celebration, Bucks Celtics. I'm like, I was all right, I'm gonna watch this game. Oh man, after the first 15 minutes,
they did have a nice. It was one of those situations. I was able to find myself down at our favorite spot, Potawatomi Sportsbook, yesterday for the game.
Beautiful.
And
you're making your Grammys bets.
Yeah, you know me, losers. Actually, no, they were no good. Like everything's minus 1,000. I'm not betting those. Not even me. You know what I mean?
I was going to say
that's besides the point.
That's your wheelhouse. Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's okay. So I was there. I'm like, all right, this is cool. The Bucks game's on. It'll be fun. And they started up 12-0. I'm like, this is great. Like, this is our day.
Yep.
Like, and then it was all downhill from there. It was one of those things you ever wish time would stop. I always talk about the Marquette Duke game in '94 when they started 9-0, and that was it. Time could have stopped right there.
Mm-hmm.
It could have stopped it at 12-0, and then it was downhill from there. Couldn't even crack 80.
Yeah. We had that moment against for Wisconsin against Alabama. They got that fourth down stop, ball inside Bama territory. Game ends right there. It's a good deal.
Yeah, it was a frustrating day for them because like many local golfers who are pretty good, they couldn't break 80. Like, come on. He couldn't score 80.7. That's their lowest output of the season, isn't it?
It's fewest since like 18, I believe they said. And it just like the more and more it goes and the deeper into the year goes, it's clear and obvious, Drew, like there's no way it gets better outside of some miraculous comeback from Giannis and 2 miracle deals that don't appear to be out there. This team is about as sunken as it could be at this point.
We have the countdown clock because we're on the clock for Super Bowl 60 Sunday. And by the way, as we were looking for stuff to do yesterday, you hit with the stark reality. That was like the first Sunday without football in 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And after this coming Sunday, we're going to have about 6 months of no football.
Winter is here. Yes.
Winter is truly here. But as far as the Bucks go, it's awful. And we can't wait till the rumors are over. I'm even more steadfast in that it's not going to happen till the offseason. And I think they should listen to my plan that I espoused a couple weeks ago when we started the show. Like, just put him on the shelf, let him just rehab. Put him on, just be honest, go to Greece, take the year.
Well, and it feels like, Drew,
it's not what's he going to come back for so they can make a run at being 10 under?
I was going to say that, like, they're to the point now where I don't even think I could see them making the play-in, right? Like, they would have to make up 4 or 5 games to make the play-in.
I mean, with Giannis, if things click, maybe, but even then, like, what's the point? Like, it's not like they're going to catch fire and win a series or something. Like, what's the point?
We saw them, beat the Pistons that one time when Giannis went out, and maybe they could do that 4 out of 7 times.
I was at that game.
Yeah, right. Like, that was a fun time. I was there too. I brought the youngster, and we were like, "Whoa, this might be the last time he plays here." Again, that's the only reason why I think to bring him back, it would be for only feel good stories. If indeed you knew he was potentially going to be moved at the deadline, or if that's what you were plotting for. But it almost appears, and maybe this was just Jim Owczarski from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel being really the only person to pen something that was outwardly positive towards the possibility of Giannis staying, where he's like, until he turns down $275 million, somebody's going to have to show me he's going to do it. Where right, like at the end of the day, you still have that club in your bag to be able to lay out the biggest contract. And into October, maybe there's a different story because of, as not only can the rest of and this is the other reason why the trade makes no sense by Thursday, all the teams that are offering packages right now, Drew, which ESPN still is talking about how aggressive they are, all of those teams can make better offers for Giannis in the offseason.
Yes.
All of the teams that would like to get into the Giannis sweepstakes, but right now have a lot of money tied up in, I don't know, a team that's on the floor, also have more assets to play with during the offseason. So it even seems like the folks that are pushing it as hard as possible to happen here, because they need some action to happen before Thursday's deadline, outside of, was it DeAndre Hunter going? That doesn't move the needle very much on Super Bowl week. where NBA Twitter can steal some headlines and maybe even have like Mike Heller interrupting a show on Radio Row to tell everybody that Kevin Durant was being traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Yes.
Like, you need stars on the move to have people get centelled. And it seems like even the folks that are really pushing for that to happen know 34 is not going to be the one being moved.
If you are interested, I do have the Blue Sky is on Blue Sky or Sky, the thread that Ozarski kind of penned. If you guys are interested in hearing
Let's hear it.
He said, what's interesting about some of these harried reports of teams trying to convince the Bucks to trade Giannis is this. They have some desperation too. One, because if John Horst gets into the summer with more picks and money, history shows he's going to do something with them. I can see that. Two, whenever the Bucks have done that, Antetokounmpo extends. Three, beyond that, the summer further opens up the competition around the league. Also interesting from a media observation is people getting, quote, mad at Giannis and or the Bucks for not just, quote, doing something. It's almost like it just can't possibly be that. Neither party truly wants any of this, but the time for actual due diligence has come. With humans, many things can be true at one time. Also, once active listening takes place, action usually follows. Could the Godfather appear now? Sure. Could it appear in the offseason? Yeah. But could the action taken actually be the path that leads to extension number 4 in Milwaukee? It's not off the table. Well, there you go. How about that? I like that kind of line of thinking. Like anything still is possible. And there is a little bit of pressure from around the league now, too, to try and get something done quicker and to try and pressure you into one of those decisions when you're at this furniture store. Like, you want to get this couch now, it might not go on sale again, type of thing.
So if we're discussing it like a divorce where everybody has, put it more into the relationship side, you got to stay in for it for the kids. Is the media like the friend that's taking you out to the club and being like,
hey, kind of,
yeah. Hey, look at this.
Look what's out here, guy.
Come on, look at how much fun we're having.
Come on, Uncle Leo, you should be swinging. You're in your prime.
Remember how much fun it was staying out till 1:32 in the morning, being up when McDonald's flipped from McChickens and McDoubles to breakfast.
Yes.
Think about how much better that is.
Those days are becoming a fleeting memory now.
And everybody thinks about them a lot more wistfully than
9 o'clock on Friday and Saturday night. I'm like, come on, man.
Once upon a time, I think there would have been 100% consensus on Bucks fans that would have always wanted Giannis to sign extensions. Like that would never have been a question. Like that would have been like the number one thing every Bucks fan always wanted was Giannis to affirm his, commitment to Milwaukee forever. But that's definitely not the case anymore. I mean, that's the thing. It's like how many Bucks fans would actually be disappointed if he signed an extension, thinking, oh, it's more to the same, like we'll never change. I don't know what the number is, but it's definitely not zero.
It's a non-zero. It's definitely a non-zero. I think partially because of folks believing the package could be very, very good. And maybe these offers right now are just informing me, especially the Golden State one. I'm on no parts of these. But into the offseason, Drew, once more realistic and aggressive packages become available, I think I could find myself and more Bucks fans finding themselves talked into it when he's going to be a 32-year-old coming off of 3 to 4 years where he hasn't been able to stay healthy through all of it.
That's a factor for sure. But maybe the Bucks need a well-placed call from Tim Duncan. One team guy, 19 years with the Spurs. They won a bunch of titles in a row, and then they went like 5 or 6 years, and he was there. Now the difference is they didn't bottom out this bad. Like they still made the playoffs with Pop, but they were like one and done. Got conference finals, and then they lost the finals, and then they won again, and that was his crowning moment. So he stuck it out for like 6 years after he kind of like a little bit like Brady.
Sure,
like Brady went like 9 or 10 years in between titles in New
10,
England.
I think.
Well, in
New England, 10 years and between titles. Now, again, they were making the playoffs and stuff, but this gap year that everybody talked about that Giannis wanted no part of, and like, well, we don't need a gap year now. We got Miles Turner, and they needed a gap year.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what possible point is there to bringing back? Like, even if you're Giannis, you say Giannis, like, what if you get hurt? What if you blow out your Achilles?
Right. What if it gets worse? What if something bad happens? What is the point of coming back? Just take your time, chill, go to Greece. And let us tank and get a lottery pick and then see what we can do. And be able to then be aggressive around the league and grabbing a veteran, or to kind of reshape the core with some actual young players that you think could be assets. Like if you could sell him on, hey, we're going to find this year's Con Knipple. where we can come in, find somebody who's going to score 18 a game for you. Right. It was a great draft this year. I don't necessarily know this one. I haven't done enough studying on it. I probably should.
This one's supposed to be decent.
Should be decent. And at least teams will be interested in what you can trade. Cause you're right. The Bucks will actually have the opportunity to get at one of their draft picks. They should have a lottery pick and you have something to be able to move from. But I also wonder, and Duncan's a great example. I think Nowitzki would be another example. Yeah. And there have been case studies. I would also look at Steph Curry, who had a very similar one where I think it was his wrist injury where he was out for the majority of the year. Like they shut him down. I think he would have been ready, Drew, in March.
Yeah, about when Giannis would be ready.
Yeah. What's the point? We got two draft picks. We'll tank. We'll get 2 top 10 picks. Now, if we draft better, maybe we win more than one title on the back end. But they did end up winning the 4th. It was a shorter time and a more condensed time into the gap year. But a lot of teams and a lot of the best stars in the game, those in like that top 30 of all time, have kind of had to do it. Even depending on how far back you go. If you keep out the time where, there was no salary cap and you didn't really have to fathom rebuilding, most teams had to do one, right?
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I even think of the Lakers teams now. It got more contentious with Kobe there for a second.
But they had a second kind of rebuild.
They had a second rebuild after they missed a number of different times trying to bring in another star around them.
Yeah, eventually got Powell up for that second kind of run, trading Kwame, which gave us the best Stephen A. Smith rant of all time. Which one, I guess we'll find. But some of the draft picks you're going to hear, Darren Peterson, A.J. DeBonsa, that's the BYU kid. And, of course, Cameron Boozer, who's gotten a lot of pub as Carlos Boozer's son. Really highly touted prospect from Duke. Played him all this year. Looks really good. Caleb Wilson, Kingston Flemings, among others. So names you will be hearing. But Cameron Boozer, I'm sure a name everyone recognizes, obviously, because of Carlos.
All right. So are we going to it's kind of funny that today being Groundhog Day.
Let's go. I did find groundhog sound effects, by the way, and trust me, you don't want to hear them. We're not going to play them. But very annoying.
Groundhog Day is today, and that is the one of the most contrived, fraudulent events in all of American culture. And it's perfect that it leads in to the Pro Bowl games on Tuesday.
Well, and for
that's fraudulent and contrived as well.
The first time ever, Drew, though, it's not on Monday, right? Like, so it actually makes sense. If you're going to do a stupid contrived holiday to get off and be able to drink in the upper Northeast in the middle of winter, do it on a Monday so you don't have to go into work and stop having it on Wednesday when it's in the middle of the week. Right. I hate this stupid rodent, but I'm excited to see what Phil ends up doing. We're up before Phil.
We are up before Phil. We've beaten the groundhog. We are the groundhog. All right.
136-year tradition.
Let me know if you see my shadow.
Stupid hats.
We didn't care in Wisconsin because it was going to be a long winter either way.
Yeah,
that thing made me laugh every time. Early spring, get out of here. Are you kidding me? That's not possible in Wisconsin, so it wasn't a problem. So we'll be waiting to hear from Punxsutawney Phil. And, of course, Jimmy the Groundhog in Madison. And sadly, we've still not replaced the late, great Gordy at Milwaukee County Zoo, who passed 3 years ago. We don't have a groundhog.
No replacement?
No, they're using an Eastern Black Rhino for the Groundhog Day prediction. Oh my goodness. Marking another year.
New rhinos.
Our resident groundhog. Yeah, which is cool. They've used alternative animals since 2024. The Milwaukee County Zoo used penguins. And then in 2025, the Nigerian dwarf goat.
Way better.
Which I don't know if the shadow situation is the same, but I guess anything can cast a shadow. It's so fraudulent.
Anything can happen.
Anything can.
I think they need to use a giraffe next time. Much better chance at the shadow there.
Better.
And quickly and easier. We can see that thing from everywhere. Like we don't have to see a little.
We got 3 elephants. Let's get one of them out there to find the shadow.
Right.
That is right. We are off and running. Maybe a Quick Trip will be opening soon. Shout out to everybody who's going to open the doors at Quick Trip. Billy.
Proud of you guys.
And everyone texting us about their quick trips now.
I love it. Yes, 877-794-1973 to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. It is the Monday edition of the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling through a Monday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, iHeartRadio app, Drew, Billy, and Armin. And the week is we are one segment into the week, the first hour of the first show of the week, and we already have our most valuable player of the week, Ben Yount.
Not getting better than this.
Come on now, Ben.
No relation, Ben Yount.
Even though he rocks that number 19 jersey, and you might think he might be the brother that didn't get drafted.
That's
by the
true.
Larry, yeah, right. Larry that didn't get in, or what didn't.
Larry made it to the big leagues and was warming up to go in and pitch and got hurt and never appeared.
That's crazy.
He's a great trivia question answer. But Ben Yount, our buddy from the news station down the hall, brought us some dunkers.
He got the dunkers.
He was listening and heard Billy talk about it. He rolled into a quick trip that's open and brought us some dunkers.
Now, I'm a man that's very proud of my last name, but I always thought it might be kind of cool to have a name like that where you could just go pick up a jersey, and actually be your jersey.
Yes.
Like, and have a really famous player like Robin. Like, you've got the Akira Schmid situation, who's up and down from the NHL and AHL.
Hey, locked in as the number 2 goalie, though, now.
Is he with Vegas?
For your Vegas Golden Knights.
That's awesome. Your favorite team, too.
So that one's sweet.
Yeah.
And partially one of my roulette numbers. 40 works out well. But yeah, you're right. To be able to have somebody who's actually noteworthy share the name, that's got to be
That's kick ass.
Immediately too. So.
Yeah. It was a situation though where I was thinking of. We went to the game, the Knights game, and I let Billy know that I saw a jersey or like a T-shirt with the name, and it turned out to be like the auction giveaway, like signed, autograph,
game worn autograph,
because there was no Akira Schmid shirts yet or whatever.
Crazily, they weren't making him at that moment. But the real one is, and the winner has been. Once I knew it was for real, it's on DHgate now.
And that's what. Let's go.
But once you see the name available on DHgate, that's when you know it's here to stay. That's when you know. That's when you know it's actually going to be able to go down. I also love not only Ben for being able to supply the dunkers, but I really appreciate, Drew, everybody being able to check in with us that their quick trip was open. Like our guy Mike Witt on the YouTube stream, right out of the gates, saying, guys, my quick trip's open. I'm eating it right now. Sausage, egg, and cheese, hash brown sticks. That is a little bit of the deal going on that I think they had.
They have a great deal going on. Yep, I love the hash brown sticks. They're delicious.
Janie and Appleton. I just checked the quick trips near me. Of 10, I saw 8 of them open 24 hours a day.
I didn't even know 41.
I didn't know any of them closed. She goes, now I think I need to stop for a dunker.
See, and everybody that's with just storming like Paul Revere to come and let us know and defend their quick trip. We're not in any way suggesting quick trip runs from the smoke.
Not trying to.
They don't duck the fade. We all know that.
It
was more of a shock that some weren't 24 hours to us when we actually noticed that, which is fine.
Right.
Which is fine. We're trying.
But I think it's a good educational model for like our friend Robert and Baraboo said, in this little city like ours, we got 3 quick trips, but only 2 of them open 24/7.
Yeah.
But he gets up at 4 a.m. to start cleaning the restaurant. So, again, I think it might be educational for everybody to realize which ones are and which ones are not next time you have to go stop before a flight.
No question. It's Super Bowl week, or as Red Hot Tim Knott on the Talking Text line points out, or Winter Olympics week, right, Armin?
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Sure. We're getting closer and closer to that moment when the rings are giving it us 5 rings, Yes, can't wait for the torch and the opening ceremonies, of which I'll admit I never watch full through. I never do.
I think that's the only thing I do watch some of, like for
the
sure.
For a while. It's on. You're not going through every country, are you? Like,
all right, so
I don't care about some
the Venn diagram of if you watch the opening ceremony or even the closing ceremonies, but the opening ceremonies especially of either the Winter or Summer Olympics, you might be an enthusiast of Cirque du Soleil shows, and you might go see some Cirque du Soleil because there's always some kind of stuff like that, and there's always some kind of like, oh my, look at that, wow, cool, like
look at how sweet that one is.
Cirque du Soleil is not Armin, my thing.
Yeah, Armin and Laura, can't you wait to see O and Bellagio? Yeah, can't wait. I can't wait to sit through that for that much money. I already got the
tickets. Yeah. Now, do they have? Are they floating in on a river this year?
Good question. Bell's Paris's deal was in a downpour,
and that was the poop river, right? That was the one they said couldn't go in. You couldn't go in because it was too nasty.
It did provide us one of the, I thought, still more of the epic images in American history of LeBron in the front of the boat with the wind blowing in the wind with the American flag.
Totally.
Now, the thing is, it's the Winter Olympics, so I don't think they're doing anything like that.
Probably makes sense. Do they have the hockey rink available yet?
Great question. I'm kind of looking for an update on this deal.
I think they do. In fact, here's some breaking news for you. It's not worth the stinger, Armin.
Got it. Thank you. Thanks.
It's okay. It's only breaking. So I say it tongue in cheek, but as we're melding what we're importing stuff from the old shows to the new show here, the Huddle, as we enter week 3. One of the things that we want to retain from the show formerly known as Drew and KB is Kappa Kate and the Sorority Sports Report.
Yes.
As it turns out, Kappa Kate is studying abroad this semester, and she is in Milan.
Whoa.
So she is going to be our Olympics correspondent. And with the time change, she's going to be able to join us right now.
Oh, that's amazing.
So she will be joining us. And not only that, we have to fire it up and talk to her next week because she has scored tickets to the opening ceremonies. She's going to see a U.S. men's hockey game.
Wow.
And she's going to a luge thing or a bobsled thing because she has some connection to somebody that she knows. There's a family from the States. So, holy cow. We have our
pretty awesome.
Now,
boots on the ground.
I was thinking about
literally.
This. We have boots on the ground with Kappa Kate. And Kate, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Kappa Kate was doing the Sorority Sports Report for us in the afternoon. She's the daughter of our pal Stephanie Sutton from WISN 12, the ABC affiliate in Milwaukee.
Right.
And Steph's been
might have some broadcast lineage.
Oh man, absolutely she does. And she's majoring in business, but she's spending this semester abroad during the Olympics, and she's going to some stuff. And I thought, this in this era of shrinking media companies and tight budgets, I don't think anybody else in Wisconsin has a reporter going to the Olympics, but we'll have Kappa Kate.
We're the only one.
I think we might be the only one. It used to be like, okay, the games are on NBC, so the local NBC affiliates would send people to the games.
Right.
The newspaper would always send a columnist and sometimes a reporter. Sometimes 2 people would go on a huge, expensive junket, and now no one does that anymore. Like they don't even. The Journal Sentinel doesn't have anybody going to the Super Bowl.
I was gonna say, I got
speaking, unless there's like a Hall of Fame voting meeting or something that maybe one of the guys that Pete Doherty has to go to or something. But
other than that, I don't think so.
No, they don't go to the All-Star game anymore. They don't go to the World Series anymore.
No, and I think we found out that apparently the Hall of Fame thing is already done. Apparently they're not doing that anymore. But I got asked by our friend Dara from NFL Ireland.
Yes.
If we were going out to the Super Bowl, you're gonna miss him.
Our boy Nags is there, so I guess we could call him and have boots on the ground. But it would be one of those deals where he's just coming home.
Yeah,
he'd have to talk to
us.
He
did let me know that we could probably record something and be able to get him, and that would make more sense because then we'll be able to get him while he's at Radio Row. Yes. He was still believing and trying to make sure that frequent and lock in a table because he was waiting for his table assignment. Or I was like, just do what the double-breasted suit jacket did last year. Just go steal someone else's.
Go take one.
That's a good point. Yeah,
right? We saw plenty of guys doing that.
A lot of guys
take somebody else's.
Yeah, and so it's so funny because a year ago we were at Radio Row. We were in New Orleans for Super Bowl 59. We're not at Super Bowl 60. Today is also the 1-year anniversary of the trade that rocked the world of Luka and that happened.
The one time that Shams actually was right on the forecast.
And everybody thought he got hacked.
Yes.
Remember that it broke at night and it's like he got hacked.
This is in the middle of the night.
What was the live podcast on that was saying, no, this can't be real. It was like,
can't be real.
Do you remember? I can't remember. Jeez.
But we had, Luka gets traded for AD on a year ago today. And now here we are with staring down the barrel of a potential Giannis trade.
Man.
Yeah. And now a year later, Rich Paul is demanding Anthony Davis out of Dallas. I'm stunned that one transpired as well.
Guys, Jason Kidd, I saw sparring with reporters. So I don't know that things, the funny thing is of all the things that happened there since, they got the greatest fortune ever by falling into Cooper Flagg, right? So that might have revived Nico's career, but it didn't, obviously. Because I forget what's his name. We talked to that kid in the sideline.
It's going to be what an amazing gift for the new general manager that goes in there. But this is also, Drew, where, we definitely hit kind of the jackpot being at the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Much better spot than I think everybody's going to be finding out there in San Francisco. You covered a couple of World Series out in that area.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That is not the most commuter friendly area.
No. Well, and that's the thing. Well, at least in the World Series,
it's actually in San Francisco,
right? It was like actually there, but now it's like you're Santa Clara and everybody's spread out all over it. And a lot of the events are taking place in San Francisco, the concerts and stuff.
Yep. It was an amazing feeling to be able to walk back. And it was my only time, obviously, at a Super Bowl doing anything like that. But
you're able to walk to everything.
I did think about how different the experience would have been, the memory would have been if it was something like this, where we've had to wait for Ubers, 40-minute rides. It would have been kind of annoying. But being able to walk everywhere changed the entire experience. What a great time that was.
Grizzled vets will say that should should be in the rotation for all
forever.
time.
Yep. Yeah,
Because it's like so convenient. Now, Indianapolis is a great sports city. You've been there for the combine. That's a great setup.
Love it. Love that place.
Anytime you can just walk to stuff, it's so cool.
It's amazing.
Right? It's fantastic
and
if you can navigate that.
Because there's also then the possibility of actually seeing guys throughout the NFL just in the elements, out and about. Because last year you saw everybody out, whether it was at the casino after hours where everybody was hanging.
Everybody was hanging.
Everybody was losing. I'm convinced nobody won in that stupid spot. However, it
was a I don't want to.
Correct, Armin. Correct. Not
nobody
King of Cheeks, but close to it. Close to it. No one's like the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and no one's like the Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee.
But you're right. I saw Mina Kimes interviewing Jaden Daniels on the street, like just
strolling down. You see Chris and Kyle Long hanging out having lunch. Yep. Like you just random Dan Orlovsky. I saw just wandering down. So you saw a lot of people, as well as real decision makers in the NFL. That's the other part of the combine coming up in a couple of weeks, where
that's right.
You just randomly bump into, possible position coaches. And as the world is turning in the carousel of coaches, finally locking up the 10th and final head coaches yesterday, Drew, there's actually going to be probably interviews being done this week in Santa Clara during this time and when the combine comes in a couple of weeks.
I was thinking about that because with the Super Bowl this week and all the attention and all the churn there, it'll mean that'll be another week before we hear from Goody and Jonathan Gannon and anybody at Green Bay, because they're not supposed to do stuff during the week. I don't think so. I don't think we're getting a presser this week.
I don't think so. No.
We're still waiting.
And I guess I was somewhat wrong. I figured, Drew, that LaFleur would also do another one.
Me too.
But as I was talking to Nags last week on Carry the G Radio, he's like, oh no, LaFleur did his. He did his day after the game. Done. I'm like, okay, I kind of thought they would be different. I just clumped that in with end of that game. Then there would be the end of the season, but they'll probably be done there. Maybe he does one when he finalizes the staff, as now they're going to have to find a new quarterback coach with Sean Mannion leaving. But yeah, it pushes closer and closer to, well, we'll just do it at the combine. We'll see you guys down there at the Westin. So we'll just do it at the combine.
That's probably what's going to
shrinks
happen.
From the 5 times you hear from the general manager to 4 a year.
Yep.
He's taking the TED approach.
Fancy that.
It's learning.
877-794-1973 gets you into the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We have a new segment that'll fire up today. I'm going to stay tuned for that. Well, we like to have new segments.
This segment we all very much will enjoy.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and we'll have some more coming online as we move forward. With very
excited. If you'd like to join, we got
still has the new show smell. It's week 3 of the Huddle since we convened here at 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. And once again, appreciate everybody who's reaching out to us and is awake and interacting. I didn't think this many people were doing stuff.
Dude, it's the best. I love that everyone with a happy Monday. Good morning, guys. And then our friend Dobler going right at Armin. Yo, Armin, forgot about your quick trips. You missed that Bucky's 24-hour delicious breakfast biscuit.
Okay, you didn't even spell it right, Dobler, but all right. I guess I'll make the open 30 extra seconds for you. No, I like Dobler a lot, and I'm actually a little bit curious about that place. But
is it closer to you? Because you've been running into the issues of not having a quick trip.
No, now that I moved, I don't have one on the way anymore. It's actually not going to be any closer to me, to be honest with you, and I'm not going to go out of my way to go there, obviously, at that early hour in the morning, but I'm also a loyal guy.
I was going to say, you're loyal to the soil.
I understand new girls coming into school and everyone gets all excited, but I'm not that guy. All right, I'm a real one. All right, now you're a real one. Yeah. You might convince me to stop there every now and then. You know what I mean? But
you don't need to get friend zoned by Bucky's.
Not at all. Exactly.
Plenty of friends.
Thank you.
Yes,
loyal friends.
Well played. Stay tuned. Yeah, this new segment's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know when we're going to do it yet. You got a time yet in mind?
I don't know. Maybe should we spark it up when we usually would have the halftime report, because Scott Dolphin
set boots on the beach. He's in the Dominican.
No Dolph today.
No Dolph today.
Unless I can get him up early down there, but I don't think
I'm not liking our chance. Bet the under on that.
Right. Maybe later into the week when he's annoyed.
Exactly.
With Shannon.
Could be.
Not the listeners.
But it is also Game Balls and Kicks to the Balls Monday. We'll fire that up after 7 o'clock. It's the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Is that a trick question?
You tell me.
They gave up Kwame Brown. Who
First
cares?
rounders.
I could care less.
Tied into his salary for 4
First
years.
of all, understand something. When you're giving up first-round picks, if you are a quality team in playoff contention, it really doesn't mean that much. That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, Kwame Brown is gone. The city of Angels, Hollywood, just should be celebrated. Throw a parade already, whether you win a championship or not. This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball. He's got bad feet. He can't really move, even though he's mobile. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a post move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever. Plays no defense. Doesn't have the heart, the passion, or anything that comes with it. And you're asking me whether they gave up too much? Please. The Los Angeles Lakers knew exactly what they were doing. They should be celebrating right now. And Kobe Bryant should not be saying a word.
His contract.
Yeah. Stephen A's greatest hit.
That was it.
All right. That's how I feel about this when I see the report this weekend from the Golden State Warriors. Jimmy Butler's contract, 37 years old, torn ACL. I don't know. We can trade that for Giannis. I don't know that we're trading Draymond Green. Fellas, listen, this is Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're talking about a bona fide scrub at this point in Draymond. I've watched Draymond Green play basketball in 25-26, the year of our Lord 2026. That is right now a bona fide scrub.
When you say no disrespect to the man, then go on to say the most possible disrespectful line of things. I'm sorry. That is
doesn't it cover it up?
No disrespect to the man, but he can't play. He has no heart, no passion, no skill, no
Bad feet.
ability. He's
Can't
mobile.
remember a post move.
He can't move. He's mobile, but he doesn't know where he's going.
Oh God.
So, yeah, it's like, we're offering you Kuminga and Jimmy Butler, 2 guys who can't play for us.
Yeah.
Who aren't playing for us this year.
Exactly.
Give us one of those players in the world.
And I think there is an aspect of, we were talking about earlier with Bucks fans once upon a time never have wanted Giannis to not stay, but it's like there is an aspect of like you want to see what's in the other box, to quote Family Guy, right? It could be a boat, but what's in the box? It might be a boat.
Could be a boat.
And I think there's always that excitement when you have to come to deal with the fact that you trade some great asset, that you might get some ridiculous gift under the tree, but it might not be like that. The Santa sack might be empty.
But the tough thing is, it is out in front of you where it did work, right? The Shai Gilgeous-Alexander example,
great example,
is a tough one to not look at and be like, but what if it's Shai, right? What if it's another international superstar who's budding and about to become one of the most dynamic players in the game, and who right now is on one of the best 2-year scoring runs, Drew, the NBA has seen from a guard ever.
Yep.
And that was because they got forced into a deal with Los Angeles because of the Kawhi Leonard, Paul George deal, where it's like, oh, well, you have to do what the player does. You have to do what the player says. And Sam Presti's like, all right, yeah, cool. I want that player and everything else. If you know that you're going to get that return, it feels different than it was 7 to 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But this player is different than I think a lot of the guys that have been on the market.
Timing is everything, and the Bucks are now. It's like I have a friend who opened a sub sandwich shop. Actually, 2 of them.
That sounds delicious.
Down in Waukegan.
I love
Nice.
that.
Not far from American Place Casino.
Nice. A couple other good spots.
Yeah, he opened 2 of those right as the country was going on a no carb phase.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yikes.
Timing, my friend. How many subs are you going to sell when the whole country is going like, nah, no carbs?
Mm-hmm. Got flatbread options?
Yeah, it was a little rough. Should have gone unwich or lettuce wraps or something. But yeah, that didn't really work out that well. Timing, like the Bucks, no one's going to do one of those Mikal Bridges trades, right? They're just not going to happen.
No, that feels very different. And also the fact that, the Luka one, though, needs to be referred to as a significant outlier where
the 1-for-1,
especially right now where Giannis is as clear up for grabs. If you believe that they're really listening to the quote unquote aggressive offers, unlike Nico Harrison, he didn't want anybody to think about it. Giannis has other dudes in the NBA making commercials clowning the fact that his name always has trade rumors. So that might not help the Minnesota Timberwolves with the Anthony Edwards Adidas commercial.
Yikes.
But when you get that tag and people know that he's going to be available, that to me looks like it will be away. But I don't know. You're also getting the Gobert 5 first-round picks and 4 players.
It's just, yeah. Oh, and this is a different street here, but it's timing is everything. And the Brewers have had success trading guys a year early. Like, they've had some success, and still they trade, or they let Willie Adames walk and they won 97 games. They traded Corbin Burns and they still made playoffs, still win the division. Okay. They've had that kind of run. Did you see buried in the transactions yesterday, Eugenio Suarez going back to Cincinnati on a 1-year deal?
1 year, 15. Yeah.
Oh, he would have been the guy. He would have been the ticket. We should have given up some of those prospects for 2 months of Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah, Logan Henderson would have been gone.
Yeah, like
that's the warning shot now forever. When you fall in love with somebody at the deadline, Eugenio Suarez did drop off, and I think that was a factor. Oh, he's 34 also.
Did have a pretty big home run though in one of those playoff games.
He did have a big one, but I think the weak second half was a a for some teams. But Cincinnati's a good landing spot for
that's where he was.
And they found value.
And he's going to DH. And he's going to 1-year deal. Like, so what would you have gained when? Let's go back then. Let's go back because we spent most of July with people calling us, telling us that the Brewers needed to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I still would have liked to see that bat in the lineup more than Joey Ortiz every single given day. But in hindsight, everyone yesterday I thought was asking the question, like, why were the Brewers not in on it? I was not interested. And that one right now, I'm very much not. I still think I might have, and maybe that's just because I don't want to let a good take die. But like at the end of it now, Drew, you're right. For what you probably would have had to give up, the juice would have definitely not been worth the squeeze. It would have been closer to Jonathan Scope than Mike Moustakas.
Exactly. That's
absolutely. Yeah.
You needed somebody controllable, and you needed somebody,
But
younger.
dare I also say he, gets into the NL Central, into the bandboxes that we have instead of the AL West. Maybe
we'll see.
Different deals,
he's going to DH for Cincinnati. They're bringing him back. He's been there, comfort level.
That's
there.
the right stadium. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But again, sometimes the best deals are the ones you don't make, and that's instructive. As we're going to hear if the Bucks don't trade Giannis by Thursday, we're going to hear the packages that they could have had, and people are going to have a lot of FOMO. A lot of buyer's remorse, or should we say non-buyer's remorse?
Yeah, I think so, maybe. But I think just knowing that what's on the horizon will be better, that might help. I do wonder, are the Brewers going to be in with one more veteran, or is their roster pretty much set, you think?
I think they could be. There's going to be some guys drizzling around. I didn't even know Suarez was still on the market.
I didn't realize Rhys Hoskins was on the market this week until my kid asked me, hey, Daddy, who's he play for now? And pulled up the Rhys Hoskins card. I'm like, currently? Nobody.
Might
be going to Taiwan. Who knows?
Game balls and kicks firing up next. 877-794-1973. If you want to beat the rush, it's the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling through a Monday in the good land. It's the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 in Madison. Worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. Streaming live on Facebook, X, and, of course, YouTube. Drew, Billy, and Armin. Plenty to get to today, but it's Game Balls and Kicks to the Balls Monday. It's a great way to start the week, isn't it?
It's one of my absolute favorites.
Gotta love it.
There are certain things that Drew, well, I mean, listen, you've been in this for a long time. Radio, everything's kind of stolen. If you steal something from us, you probably stole it not twice.
Oh, yeah.
But this one was the one that you guys had on the Drew and KB show that whenever I forecasted long into the future, this was a segment that was never going to die because it is one of the best bits in radio history. And I, for one, am very excited to be able to.
You've all seen the ceremonies. You're standing in the locker room. It's a victorious locker room. You're holding a ball aloft. You're surrounded by people in underwear or towels. You can leave that to your imagination. But you get to bestow a game ball for a job well done. It's a kudo. It's an attaboy. Way to go. And today on the program, it sounds like this.
All right, that's
Punxsutawney Phil.
That's a game ball. Now I'm going with the Groundhog Day theme. That's just from what he did predict it early. Okay. That's not live though.
That's not live. That was today.
That's just so everyone knows.
Just a generality.
He hasn't come out yet of his hole. All right, it's still dark.
Okay.
And then for
the kick to the balls, it's somebody needs to do better. A job that's poorly done. Performance improvement plan coming. Double secret probation. Kick to the balls is this.
That's when the groundhog bit the mayor's ear in Sun Prairie, if you guys remember.
Oh my God.
I was hoping in my memory, my recollection, that he would like have screamed or something, but this guy took it like a G. I don't know who he is.
He just ate it like the groundhog ate his ear?
He didn't really react as hard as I wanted. I mean, he did react visually. You can see the video, but
So why has nobody posted that and mashed it up with Tyson and Holyfield?
I was just going to ask.
Amazing point, Drew. And I don't know.
Let's go.
That sounds like AI is all over it.
No, I mean, I don't know when this was. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember back to.
Well, if we got the video,
10
though,
years, okay,
man,
10 years.
AI is good with the video mashups.
Did
We can
CapCut
very
exist?
quickly get that.
10 years ago, did CapCut exist?
No, but we can get it now.
Yeah,
And I'm assuming somebody is going to be battling through that. Oh,
Yeah.
that is good stuff.
Good stuff. All right, 877-794-1973. Game balls and kicks of the balls. Shall we start with a game ball for Matt LaFleur's little brother? Mike LaFleur getting a job that I don't know that a lot of people wanted. One of the worst jobs on the docket, the Arizona Cardinals.
When they say it's one of 32 and somebody always is going to want it, somebody's always going to take that job.
You know, it's funny because who's the passing game coordinator for them that was in the cycle this time?
Drew something or painting.
No, it was the.
Oh, you're talking about Connor Sanger?
No,
the Wisconsin guy,
Shield guy,
Nate Shieldhouse from the Rams.
Nate Shieldhouse from the Rams was like he was getting churn, and then Mike LaFleur was kind of under the radar, had some interviews, and then they hired him. And they don't quarterback thing. They don't have a lot of talent. They got a crappy ownership, great city, crummy facilities.
Yes,
he's going to have to upgrade some stuff. But he comes from that Shanahan McVay tree as well. So I'm not going to discount that he could, you got to give him a couple of years to get it up and running and create a culture. But I could see him being okay.
Well, listen, the Cardinals have been to a Super Bowl more recently than the Detroit Lions. So like,
true.
As bad as the ownership does appear, it doesn't seem to be great, but like there's levels to it. And you've seen, I mean, even Bruce Arians had them on the doorstep of the Super Bowl a number of years ago. If the quarterback's right, you can win just about anywhere. You can win in Cincinnati. You can be a fourth down away from going to the Super Bowl. They didn't have an indoor practice facility before Joe Burrow got there.
Yeah.
Like, so it can always be elevated by whoever the signal caller is. And frankly, that's where they've fallen short. Like, I mean, I don't think Jonathan Gannon's a terrible coach. We're going to see how good of a defensive coordinator he is here in Green Bay, but I don't know that he really had much of a chance after the Murray torn ACL. He just hasn't been close to the same, and they're saddled with a big contract with him.
Yes, absolutely.
So they're going to move off him and see what LaFleur can end up doing developing somebody.
And the Packers will play the Cardinals in 2027.
Oh, yeah, not this year, the next year, right? Because then in the next year, they'll play the NFC West.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So they will face off against each other. And last time they played the Rams, they had the big group picture with the whole family on the field taking a picture and stuff. So
yeah, and they've had to do those pregame because the Packers have won all those games against the Rams. That as bad as LaFleur has fared against Kyle Shanahan, he's done much better against the Sean portion of that McVay Shanahan triumph.
So I guess we'd be remiss. We have to name everybody else that got those gigs too, like the Clint Kubiaks of the world. And there's a lot of quarters. Raheem Morris replacing Robert Saleh and staying in the family. A lot of people thought Raheem Morris would have been the guy in Green Bay because of his ties to LaFleur. I mean, is Raheem Morris better than Jonathan Gannon considerably?
I don't necessarily know, right? Like Jonathan Gannon, I think maybe did a little bit more with less. However, Raheem Morris's defense got home. They also had Aaron Donald. So like it's all about players.
Aaron Donald now Gannon's got Micah Parsons.
And it's going to be a lot of fun to be able to see how he's able to craft some blitz packages with a team that was not super blitz heavy when he was in Philadelphia. But Drew, they got after the quarterback a ton with a lot of guys who, were a lot lesser known in their careers at that moment. They made Josh Sweat a ton of money out there in Arizona and just never produced at the same level.
How's Clint Kubiak going to do with Francisco Mendoza?
Well, listen, if Fernando Mendoza equates to the NFL as well as he did the Sunday Conversation yesterday, it'll be decent. He handled that smoke with Caleb Presley pretty well.
There is not one. I mean, getting him in an interview setting is like getting a snapping turtle in the pond. It's his role.
He's ready.
It's his sphere. He'll never lose something like that.
I would love to hear the combine 15-minute Drew with him and Tom Brady.
Whoa.
Like if there would be a clip to steal of just the amount of cliches that you'd be able to throw out at each other, an amount of just the best possible soundbite you could have, the most team speak of all time, you would just be able to regurgitate that 15 minutes.
It might have already happened, but Tom will fall in love with this kid. I mean, to the point where he's going to be like, you live in my basement and I'm going to breed you to football glory. Like I'm going to coddle. Like you remember little giant Spike Hammersmith's dad? Like he's just going to do everything he can to just bring this kid up in his own image, I think. Now, I don't know if that's a reference you're going to get. I don't know.
Well, we've seen it. No, yeah, we get it.
Kid's gotta love you. Carson's got to love that movie.
I'd give as you look at the rest of the NFL landscape, I saw this one made yesterday of the lack of minority head coaches hired in the sport, and whether I've struggled with this a number of different times because Drew, I think the worst thing that you can do is give somebody a job when they don't when everybody believes they shouldn't have the job. However, I struggle to think that there's a number of qualified candidates in the NFL that didn't end up getting head coaching jobs that are of minority descent that I don't know necessarily got the interviews. But like I see like Vance Joseph, I don't know that he ended up taking as many interviews as a lot of people thought when he went deeper into the process. But like Brian Flores, that one blows my mind that no team ended up grabbing him outside of the fact that he's suing the NFL. So on the so I don't know if it's a game ball. It's definitely not a game ball, but I don't necessarily know that it's a kick to the balls because I struggled to know where the spot would have been, especially Flores. I think he's a phenomenal coach. He won 50% of his games, just under, in Miami. You want to talk about an ownership that is tough to win in, where they were legit plotting against you and asking you to lose games. I think he's a great coach, but that's a tough burden to ask an owner to do when, you are going to get more than just a side eye, I'd assume, from the rest of the league when you bring that guy in as your head coach.
The Rooney Rule does seem like it's eyewash in some ways. It's like, all right, we got to check a box, but at least it did open up, and at least it's front of mind to open up the pool of candidates, right? And so you have 10 coaches, 10 coaching openings, and no minorities. It's eye opening.
It's really eye opening
in a league that's majority African American. You say, "Wow, okay."
And it's not as much the Rooney Rule, because that one I feel like people have thought was kind of, that people were checking a box a lot of times, sadly, in that respect too. They also just postponed the elevation rule, or the incentive-based program, where if you had coaches of a minority descent on your staff for a certain amount of years and they elevated to certain spots, draft compensation came back, and that was instituted for like 3 or 4 years, and they postponed that this year, and it changed up the equation. I don't necessarily know directly, but it's hard to not see when you see 10 openings, a historic number.
Yeah.
And not one first-time minority head coach ends up getting a gig.
And again, Raheem Morris has had chances. He's had,
Yeah, he's had 2. Yeah, had plenty of opportunities. Yes.
So, is that a game ball? Is it a kicked ball? Hard to say.
Yeah, because again, I don't necessarily know that I fault any of the teams. However, you're going to have to show me, if you're a couple of these head coaches, that you're going to be better than potentially Brian Flores would have been. Because I just think he's a phenomenal coach, and I think he would have done very, very well. How about a game ball to graphics departments?
Yes.
Now,
yes, Billy.
In the NFL, there's always stories that come out. And Drew, when things go haywire for teams, everybody is going to have their way of either saying, this is why my candidate and my client is no longer there, and this is why that client sucked and why he is no longer here and why my guy is not at fault. Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah in Minnesota, where Kwesi is now no longer the GM, and the eyewash season is on as everyone's trying to show exactly where the blame lied. Well, they said it was because Kwesi Adofo-Mensah took 2 weeks of paternity leave. 2 weeks of paternity leave during camp, and graphics departments were having themselves a ball yesterday with Kwesi Adofo-Mensah pictures and the most ridiculous captions possible around it. Paternity leave.
Indeed.
Left to have a baby.
Yeah.
Quit on his team in camp.
Well, didn't Joe Brady say like his wife delivered a kid by by herself.
By herself, had complications.
No.
Left.
Mike McDonald says, I see my son Jack sit 30 minutes a week.
Now, can I kick to the balls these guys for doing this? Okay. Now, my thing is, you're trying. I get it. You're trying to sound tough. You're trying to live up to the ethos, the work ethos of the NFL. But like, if you remember in '93 with the Houston Oilers, this was a big story with David Williams. He was an offensive lineman that was the first guy to choose to miss a game because his son was born, and it was this was 30 years ago. We still having these controversies that you're tougher because you don't see your kids. It's just a little draconian. So I want to give a game ball to Kurt Signetti, who I think famously said, this is not recent, it was a few weeks ago, that he's like, I'm in at 9, I leave at 5, and I want my coaches to do the same thing. None of this fake hustle stuff where we try to sound tougher by saying we don't see our kids and stuff like that, like it's some good thing. So you know what?
Yes.
And I mentioned that on Twitter, and I got guys coming at me saying, oh, you don't know what it's like to have a real important job and that people can rely on. I'm like, okay, fine. We can discuss that later, but I think it's a little ridiculous. Everyone can live their life to say their own way. Everyone can decide to do what they do in their own personal life with regards to how they see their kids and take time off and not. But this idea, right, that it's like you're so tough if you don't see your family and you get – what was it, Bill? It was Joe Brady, right? You talked about it. Taking the pictures in the middle of the night that he's getting into work. Like, come on. Isn't this a little fake hustle?
Well, you got to know that I'm here at 4:40 and I'm working way harder than everybody else.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't care about anything else but this football team.
Also,
I don't care about anything else but this football team getting better. And I'm not going to see anybody.
The lights on in the office at 12:30, 2 in the morning. Leroy told us I was going to Lothario's and I saw the light on.
You see the light on up there.
It was the cleaning crew.
Yes.
But it was a coach.
I believe a lot of guys work hard, and that does make a difference. But this idea that you can only win if you're there in the middle of the night, you're going to see some secret piece of film no one got because you had another 4 hours. I don't know if you're really doing the best thing you can.
Well, it clearly didn't help them. I mean, and maybe if Kwesi was there, it would have worked. Drew. He could have taken a month off if JJ McCarthy could play.
Exactly.
Right?
Great point.
All I can see
if
while
Darnold
watching
hadn't gone to a Super Bowl,
if they would have gotten the deal done with Darnold, you know what, brother? You could have taken 6 weeks. You could have had the whole camp off. It didn't really matter as long as that one would have been better.
And he was still working. The idea that you can't conduct business from your phone and from a laptop or wherever, you have to be in the office. That's the false hustle stuff.
Well, it's and it is very much football guy. We're always here. They're not over on that side, but we're always here. And Bruce Arians was the same way. He had said it a long time, and I respected the hell out of him when he said it about his coach. He's like, I will fire you on the spot if you miss a dance recital or a game for one of your kids. So you're on my staff and you have an important kid's graduation. You're going to get fired before you miss that, because that you can't miss. And there's certain guys that prioritize it, and there's certain coaches that take it to a different level. But, there's always going to be the guys that say that, and again, here it is, but there's so much of proving yourself to everybody else.
Sure.
Just prove it with what you do in your acumen, not how hard I work. Because as long as you work smarter, you don't have to necessarily work harder.
Absolutely. I have I got a couple media game balls and kicks to the
Let's
ball.
ride.
Well,
I got a good one too.
This is a kick to the balls. And, in this era of aggregation and clickbaity stuff, I'm giving a kick to the balls to Athlon Sports. I don't follow them, but I got this through my newsfeed. The headline on Athlon Sports on a story I saw in the Apple newsfeed said, the story was by Chris Phelps. I don't know who that is. Might even be AI or something, but
these days it could be.
It's a good name though if it's AI.
Chris Phelps, Athlon Sports. And the headline of the story said, Matthew Stafford news announced after 17 NFL seasons. What was the news? Matthew Stafford news announced after 17 NFL seasons. The news was that he won the Tom Brady LFG award for Player of the Year.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Are you overselling on that
most
headline?
obvious clickbait.
Oh my God.
The most
Clickbait.
obvious spam you could get.
Congratulations.
That's Hall of Fame.
Holy
clickbait.
cow.
Matthew Stafford news announced after 17 NFL seasons. How long has Brady been doing this? First of all, Brady should get a kick to the balls for the lame LFG awards. We need Tom Brady's
and
awards.
that one also give it to Jim Gray as well, because that podcast is mostly because of Jim Gray, and it is atrocious.
Yes.
And it is bad.
But Like that's your headline, and that's to get people to click. This guy, are you getting paid by the click? Like, come on.
Probably it's all this SEO. It's embarrassing.
Probably.
It's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing and that's what we've come to on the web, and it's not going to get any better
Awards.
anytime soon.
Oh man.
But then I would also give a kick to the balls to the NBA. Now, last night they're up against the Grammys, and the Grammys, we were talking about how the Grammys kind of owns that Sunday. At least it did. Now it's moving. That was the last time they're going to be on CBS. They're moving after this year. Last night was their farewell to CBS. And the Grammys is like star-studded. And if you care about music and culture, you dial in and you check it out, right? And so, but the NBA, they're doing that Sunday, NBA on NBC. Armin's all warm and fuzzy.
Sunday night basketball.
They had Costas open it up, right? And they had they went all in, and they had all the talent, and they had LeBron at the Garden. Like, good story. Is this his last game in the Garden? Maybe not. That's a lot of stories there. And then they had it up against a whole other slate of Sunday night games. What are you doing?
Oh my God!
Like
what
Oklahoma City, Denver could have been a headline game.
Yes,
but why not play those games earlier, or just move them off and have that game stand alone? Why compete against yourself and cannibalize your own product the way they did? It's just idiocy.
Just a horrendous botch. And especially, Drew, on this day when everybody is looking for daytime entertainment because of what you pointed out, that it's the first Sunday without NFL football. This is your chance to capitalize on some very, very fertile ground. I mean, like, if you want to plant some seeds and have people be like, okay, we're 2 months away from the NBA playoffs, I can start watching some of these games and pick up, wow, Oklahoma City is amazing again. That was the day to be able to do it. And they had Costas. They had 5 different people on site. They freaking brought in Caitlin Clark as a guest commentator for it.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, they had 7 games going on again.
7 games going on. So a lot of fan bases were watching their own teams, and a lot of other people were watching the Grammys, and it was like thud. Like, what are you doing?
MLB will play a random Tuesday and make 2 teams fly together to make up a game instead of play a doubleheader against Sunday Night Baseball that I don't know a whole lot of people watch anymore.
True.
Just because of the standalone window.
Yeah.
And this one, they're like, throw 7 on there. What is it? The debut? How much money did you pay for it? 2.1 billion? Who cares?
Yeah.
That is tremendous.
Was dumb.
From that broadcast as well, I got another kick to the balls to Reggie Miller.
The original Reginald.
And coincidingly, a game ball to the aforementioned Caitlin Clark. For how she handled with just the eye roll of all time, the eye roll heard around the world when this was the comparison that Reggie Miller was able to find when Maria Taylor asked him who in the NBA reminded him of Caitlin Clark.
Reminds you of the young lady to your right.
I like Peyton Pritchard from Boston, the way he's able to handle the basketball. He makes big shots when the shot clock's running down, a lot like this young lady right here.
If you could see looks killing, Caitlin Clark wanted to throw a 50-foot dagger through Reggie Miller's soul when he said, I really think the 6th man of the year in the NBA, Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Shooting 35% from 3. No, people are trying to compare it to Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, some of the greats of all time. I think maybe that 4th guy on the Boston team.
Yeah.
That first guy off the bench in Boston. I think that's probably who. She wanted to slap him upside the head, but she gave one of the greatest courtesy smiles of all time. No teeth.
Peyton Pritchard.
It's just a rare. It's just a rare. It's like if you told someone, one day you can be the greatest. You could be Warren Harding or somebody, or some random president. You could be Grover Cleveland one day.
Now I wonder. They have big production meetings, a lot of producers, high level broadcast. Do you think that did Reggie, was he caught off guard by that, or did he know it was coming?
Good question.
Did they discuss it?
Maybe
in many meetings?
Was that? We've been in this. At least I've been in this situation where I wasn't listening to the question, or I got caught off guard, or I didn't hear. Billy knows I've been in that situation where I've said,
"Really?
You know what I mean?" So maybe that was it.
Yeah.
I think Peyton Pritchard. Yeah.
I sure hope so, Drew. I sure hope so. I hope that's the problem.
I hope so,
because otherwise,
they didn't cut to a video of Peyton Pritchard or anything so it was it probably was off the cuff.
Instead, they just showed it right at Caitlin, and she's
then
just
Reggie's
like,
I should have thought about this more, or yeah.
So you think that maybe he like threw out some, actually, Caitlin, I think of a lot better shooters than, Peyton Pritchard.
She's not even as good as my sister Cheryl.
Maybe that's part of it. He really loves Cheryl, and he always is, litigating for her right to be the greatest women player of all. Like maybe there's part of that.
I would have respected the hell out of it. I would have given him a game ball if he would have said, well, she's the second greatest women's basketball player ever.
Something like that.
Sister.
And everyone would have laughed. You know what I mean?
Oh, we would have laughed.
Yeah.
Instead, we look at Reggie like, brother, what?
Huh?
Peyton Pritchard? Hey, listen, I'm not gonna go full Stephen A. Smith, Kwame Brown on Peyton Pritchard. The brother's got game, but
he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
I don't know about that one.
Get us your game balls and kicks to the balls. 877-794-1973. It's the Monday edition of the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. We've reached halftime of your favorite new show, The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armin. This is usually the spot where Scott Dolphin would pop in and brighten our morning, but Scott Dolphin and his on-air partner, Shannon, from the country station down the hall, Shannon and Scott are with their friends at Boots on the Beach in the Dominican Republic.
200 of their closest friends going out, getting some sunshine, hanging out in the heat around the beach. Must just be a terrible, terrible time.
It doesn't suck.
What a tough week of work,
I'm
man.
12 days away from going to Mexico for a week.
Let's go. All right, let's go, Drew.
Very
now, do you
excited.
do one of the countdown guys? Like,
Nah.
I'm not either, but like I have friends and relatives that are countdown people.
I'm at the age where it's like the idea of doing stuff is better than the actual doing.
Sure.
And it's like, I don't really look forward to stuff anymore. It's like, God, it means I got to get off the couch.
Yeah, when
and
Tom
go do
Petty
it.
said the waiting's the hardest part, at this point, actually, the waiting is the fun part.
The better part.
Right? Because you just think about how much fun you're going to have, and then you're there, you're like, oh, what am I going to do? I can't wait to do nothing.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it.
I can't wait to
You're
do
like,
nothing.
Time to get home. Yeah, you know what I mean? I got to pack. You got to think
Start
about all that
thinking
stuff.
about traveling
Oh,
again.
man, what do I have to get? I need a toothbrush for the road and all these things.
Another one of my musical heroes is Jeff Tweedy from a band Wilco out of Chicago. And his book, he wrote a book called Let's Go. And in parentheses, it says, so we can get back.
So we can get back.
Let's go. So we can get back. That's kind of my attitude now about just about everything. I'm going to a game, a concert. Let's go. So we can get back.
We went to a restaurant yesterday with the two boys, maybe for the first time in a long time. And we're like, wow, this is good. And then all of a sudden, the one nearly threw a coffee mug across the restaurant. We're like, oh, that's why we don't do it. So maybe we just hurry home so we can hurry up and go so we can come back. Get out of the house as quick as possible and come back as quick as possible because, I've become so much more of a homebody later in life. And I've also quickly become the guy that is ready for the senior discount. Like, I mean, we're eating dinner at about 4:00 anyway. How do I get the AARP card at 31 to be able to get that discount at 4:00 for the early bird special?
Yeah, one of the early bird specials coming. You know, I mean, like I'm waiting for one of those. Like, do those still exist? Because you could definitely take advantage of that now.
Oh,
like,
for
absolutely.
sure.
Are you kidding me?
Now,
where's that fun book with all the coupons in it? You know,
the good old entertainment book that they're selling at the high schools.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to find more of those.
Well, my mom thought On the Border was a Mexican restaurant. You know, that was a true story. Yeah.
Well, now
They might have tacos there at some point.
Speaking of an establishment like On the Border, I got a Game Ball and Kicks to the Balls nomination. Game Ball for a couple of bouncers in Melbourne, Australia, and for 7 News Melbourne giving us the story of instant karma is slapping one of those individuals right across the head. Oh, Armin, cue me up in there.
Buffering.
Oh, sorry.
Happened here around 9:20 last night on King Street in the city, outside Bar 20. The man and a mate had been inside but were thrown out. One of them grabbed a chair from a restaurant next door, despite staff and customers there trying to stop him, and it's suspected he was trying to throw it at security at the front door, but instead it hit his mate in the head. He recovered reasonably quickly, got up and walked away. It's understood no one rang police or an ambulance. We'll have full details. 7 News tonight at 6.
Now, first off, elite broadcasting by my man. So get kicked out of the bar, say, you know what, we got to cause some ruckus. My man grabs a chair as this young lady with the plastic gloves on. She's like, dude, I really don't care what you got going on. I'm cleaning the outdoor patio and I'm going home. So you're not taking this damn chair. She's grabbing at it. He goes, no, this guy's got to pay. This guy's got to pay. And he chucks this thing and smokes his buddy upside the head and instantly falls to the turf. The best part is the reaction of these two security guards, Drew, because the one just can't help himself. He walks up, points right at him and goes, idiot. You couldn't even hit me with a chair. And then they're just like, all right, now I'm just so ashamed and embarrassed. I guess I'll just walk off.
Again, we need the mashup of that video with the Bob Knight throwing the chair. Yeah. Most famous chair tossing of all time, right?
Also, probably one of the last times you saw like a non-padded like chair with rubber bottoms on it. Like it was like one of those old school church, you know, the church function folding chairs.
Kind of looked like that was the chair that Gottlieb gave a chuck to this year, though.
Maybe.
I didn't see a very nice pad on that one that he threw
Doug,
up underneath the bleachers.
Doug did give a chuck to a chair, which they've been winning since then. So maybe that helped.
They've hit a skid.
Yeah, they hit a skid. I know. Winning overall. I meant like overall, I guess.
They've hit a little skid.
Yeah.
absolutely. 877-794-1973 game balls and kicks the balls.
I got one. Okay, so if we want to stick with college basketball, game ball, the Wisconsin Badgers, to recap that.
Yes.
I think 7 of 8 now, a big win against Ohio State. There's a very important dog days of college basketball season wins for the Badgers as they try and solidify their tournament position. I think I saw that they're 9 now in the bracket matrix. These are important games. We talked about with Matt LePay. Ohio State was kind of in their kind of neighborhood in terms of metrics. So you wanted to beat those teams straight up. And unfortunately, kick to the balls to my Marquette Golden Eagles that dropped another heartbreaker. Close one. They did have a lead at halftime. I was like, can we hold on this time? They are staying competitive, which I like, against some pretty good teams. But the misery continues for Marquette fans. But that was a really good win for the Badgers this weekend.
Yeah, Marquette and UWM are scuffling.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, UWM had a heartbreaker at the arena last night.
By
90-88?
Yeah, lost by 2, Cleveland State.
And that Seton Hall tilt. Now, Seton Hall was what? They started the year like 11 or 12 in a row. They started out hot and seemed like they've slowed down just a tick. Mm-hmm. That game was ripe for the taking for Marquette.
Right there. It was right there. They were up 7.5. They were tied with a minute or 2 to go, but couldn't get the late moments to go their way.
I didn't want to tell you, but the little guy said Marquette's going to lose. Turn this off. I'm like, come on, dude. They're up 7 at half. What are you talking about?
He was right.
Turn that off.
That's rough. Come on, man.
I know, dude. I thought
usually he's optimistic about it.
The most positive of fans. He said, "No, turn this off. Marquette's going to lose."
That's a bad sign.
Get him to Pato and do some investing.
Yeah,
Drew.
Well, we're getting closer. I hope.
He can be the only one in the house because Lord knows only losing follows that over on this side of the equation. Tony in Oak Creek game ball the UW Stevens point wrestler Carson Poltzer for winning the 174-pound bracket at the Pete Wilson Invitational and taking home the most outstanding wrestler of the tournament award. I'd also give the game ball to my kid who took second, losing a close match to the second-ranked wrestler in the country.
You got to give it to your kid.
But Tony said no game balls for second place.
All right.
I think you should be proud of him. Come
standards.
on, Tony. I think you should give him a game ball. I think you should be proud of him.
Got the standards.
Well, no, you can be proud, but you also don't have to throw awards. A game ball. Yeah, you know.
All right, fine.
Pride can also come without an
but no
award.
Kick, no kick at least. I don't think that's kick worthy. It's just no balls. You know, is it right? No game, no kick.
No. Right. But you know what we do? We go out, have a sandwich, and we get better.
Now Tony's consistent with the college wrestling. He will always give us the updates. He's very consistent with that. Right. So if you ever need a college wrestling report, he's the guy.
Yeah, 100%. He also said kick to the balls to network television and local TV. Roughly 2 p.m. yesterday, 2 network stations, 1 local, were broadcasting women's college basketball. I understand 1 game, but 3? Why? Because listen, Tony, I got bad news for you. There was nothing else going on yesterday.
Yeah,
there was nothing else going on yesterday.
It is what it is.
Then later into the day, they had that Nebraska-Illinois game, which was compelling. Other than that, there was not a whole lot until the nightcap. And you want to talk about a Donnybrook. Drew, we got one last night. And a game ball to Sean McDonough and ESPN for the audio last night of this one at Raymond James Stadium.
Swayman is hot. Vasilevsky's coming out across center ice. Swayman and Vasilevsky may go. Swayman tells Vasilevsky, take your mask off, and he obliges. This is crazy. Oh.
Hammer fist being thrown as a goalie fight breaks out in the middle of the second period yesterday of the Stadium Series in Tampa, Florida.
Doesn't get much,
Bruins and Lightning.
Doesn't get much better than a goalie fight.
It was we go 10 years without one, and now we've had 2 in like a month.
2 in a week.
A week.
They're like we need to start scrapping.
Crazy.
And Swayman had a reason to be a little ticked. There was a lot of traffic in front of the net throughout. He got hit like 2 or 3 times. He goes and just 2-hand shoves old boy who's on the ice getting just roundhoused by one of his defensemen. And Vasilevsky's like, I don't like the way you're talking to my friends.
And the game itself, first of all, to have that game in Tampa, everybody laughed. It was 43 degrees. They almost had to heat the ice.
There's been worse, though, in outdoor games, though.
Yeah.
There's been a lot worse. I think they had an Anaheim game once that was like 60 degrees.
They had like a whole hut around an enclosure with the ice. And Drew, I think they took it down on Tuesday because they're like, I think it's going to be fine. Yeah. I think it'll be okay.
And that's during Gasparilla's, the big like pirate. It's this pirate celebration they have there every year. And it was like crown jewel, good crowd. good game.
Amazing
The Bruins
game.
puked away a 5-1 lead,
Yeah,
which doesn't
amazing.
happen in hockey very often.
No, and that was a part of it. At that moment, it's 5-2 Boston, and Tampa was on the power play. They went on and scored there. They scored again in the second period, tied it up, won it in the shootout, 6-5. It was an awesome one.
That is fantastic. Continuing the game balls and kicks, we got a new segment coming for you in the 7:00 hour. We're going to be debuting some new segments as we move forward on this little program of ours that started about 3 weeks ago. This is our third week.
Inside of 3 weeks.
Inside of 3 weeks. We're starting our third week, getting our sea legs right now. We appreciate everybody who's hanging out with us on 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. You're listening to The Huddle. Continuing the huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, Drew, Billy, and Armin bringing it to you on a Monday in the good land. Super Bowl 60 coming up on Sunday. We got a lot to talk about, prop bets, the storylines that will emerge.
Oh, yeah.
It's Malcolm Butler week. We're going to talk about all that, snack foods, commercials, all that good stuff.
A lot of good stuff. Darnold's sick.
As the week lies ahead. Darnold's
Drake May. I'm sorry.
Drake May was sick.
Drake May was sick. Yeah.
Drake May with the shoulder thing.
People forget Favre was sick the week of Super Bowl 31. People always forget about that one because there was different rumors of why he was sick. Of course. Right?
Yeah.
Well, why would he have been sick in New Orleans?
No, that's the thing. Everyone was like, "Oh, what was going on?" But he
had shrimp on the rotten bayou.
But he had a fever, and then it broke.
Now,
can you imagine? That would have been brutal.
You're gonna like this one, Armin. Game ball to my young son Carson, who said he wanted to watch Packers games that turn with Reggie White and Brett Favre. And also a game ball to the Leroy Butler YouTube account.
Oh, yes.
That has the entire hour-long 1996 Super Bowl champion highlight video.
They've got it.
That I had as a young lad that I wore out every Sunday watching in the VHS.
Wore that
First
VHS
thing to watch
out.
every single Sunday was throw that bad boy in and watch the hour of the Packers going to the Super Bowl. And Drew, it looks even better on a 70-inch TV knowing it's on YouTube.
That thing was such an anticipation for the release of that video because obviously we had just won the Super Bowl for the first time ever, and it wasn't like you could stream a lot of content and all these things. And NFL Films put that one together for the Super Bowl champion every year. And obviously they have yearbooks for everybody, but that was a big one. So the night it got released on the Blockbuster, I remember, you could get it that day or that night, and my bedtime was going to be whatever time it was. By the time we got home, it wasn't going to be time to watch the whole thing. So I negotiated a deal with my parents that I could watch like the first 5 minutes of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then watch the rest the next day, obviously, when I got home from school, which is what I did.
The worst night of sleep you ever got.
Yeah, it was, but it was also like exciting with it was exciting with anticipation. But it was also cool knowing like I had the VHS. Like you had a tangible copy of that thing. It was like having it in your hand. It was something special about that,
All right, let's give Armin some run here on game balls and kicks to the balls Monday. Give a game ball to your guy Carlos Alcaraz. Made it more dramatic by losing the first set and then running the table.
And Novak did a pretty good job putting pressure on him early, but Carlos slowly got the momentum back and he is so incredible of a tennis player. He's got now the career Grand Slam. He's won all 4 majors at 22 years old. This kid will you'll always debate the greatest. People will always debate the GOATs in sports, but he might be the most accomplished by the time all said and done, which is pretty amazing considering what Federer's done, what obviously Novak's done, and all these guys.
As long as his wife doesn't come after him with a golf club.
Something like that. Now, Yannick Sinner is going to be his
an
foil.
Affair with a Denny's waitress, and his wife comes after him with a 7-iron.
Perkins is shut down. He'll probably have to be Denny's or an IHOP.
Carlos Alcaraz gets to everything, though. That's the most amazing part about him. He can hit a great shot from anywhere, and he absolutely gets to every ball. He's an amazing, amazing young player. He's a virtuoso tennis talent at 22. So
here's the thing about those conversations. It's like, well, if he continues at this pace, he'll be in the discussion with Federer and Joker and those guys and Nadal. Yeah, well, I heard that about Jordan Spieth at one point too.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys golf-wise that have had to. Yeah, and a lot of people have tried to get there. And you
just let them be them. Let them, watch the
Novak,
the greatness.
Novak said it in the play. He's like, he's already a legend. Okay,
so Mahomes has he's done enough first ticket, gold jacket and all that, but he's going to fall short of Brady. Therefore, it's a disappointment. Oh, too bad.
The entire career of LeBron James. Now, I think I'd probably campaign for this a little louder than others. That I think a lot of it's been less than celebrated because it was always, well, he's not Michael Jordan. Okay, well, that's a hell of a bar to only be able to clear if this is going to be a success.
That's one of my sports theories. It's the bronze medal theory. Oh yeah, hey, what do you do? Well, I was a competitive race walker. There are a lot of race walkers out of Kenosha, right? I used to do race walk. Oh yeah, I made it to the Olympics. Yeah, how'd you do? I got a bronze. Oh, that's too bad.
I'm third in the world.
Right.
You were one of the best in your country, and you're a third in the world. That's too bad.
Too bad you didn't win a gold.
Why'd you even go?
You were so close.
Why'd you go? Yeah, you're so close. Oh, that had to be heartbreaking. Does this haunt you to this day? No, I'm pretty thrilled that I won a freaking bronze. I got to be on the victory stand. Oh, you didn't win the gold, so I don't know why you.
Bronze is always better than. I always said bronze is probably better than silver because you don't worry about the fact that you didn't win gold.
I mean, just you want a medal.
You want a medal.
We're
right,
so
right.
warped in the ring culture that it's like, oh,
no, you're absolutely
What'd
right.
you even go for?
But even if we're talking about
the Olympic team is in itself the greatest thing you could do. Like, that's amazing.
Being an Olympian is amazing. But
yes,
Alcaraz has 7 Grand Slams. I mean, that is pretty amazing. He's majors.
I agree, but if he gets injured or falls
something
short,
could change quickly.
What's the record
then it's gonna
number?
be that's just he just fell short. And we set hhim up to disappoint us, and then we revel in it and dunk on him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Novak has it. But I'm gonna. 24 is the number. Rafa and Roger at 22 and 20. So 24 for Novak.
Because I think about it from the for the golf perspective, Drew, because you bring up Tiger, and it's just everybody is, well, who's going to be the next Tiger? Who's going to be the next
Tiger?
Catch
Jack, so therefore he's disappointing.
Yeah, and guess what? There probably isn't going to be another one that good. But maybe Scotty Scheffler is going to be one that you start comparing the next generation to because he was so exciting to be able to watch. Like, you can enjoy everybody in themselves, and then maybe once their careers are over, then we start litigating who is better.
Because if Mahomes never wins another Super Bowl, he didn't catch Brady, therefore he's a failure. What a loser.
Well, and we're already waiting to be able to crown the quarterback that's better than Mahomes in the NFL right now. Last I checked, Patrick Mahomes does still play football.
Yep.
Right. So it's like we're always waiting for the next one. We always want to crown the next guy, but maybe you just let the greatness happen in front of you first.
How about another game ball for Armin?
I like
All
this.
Right. I'm liking this.
I like
so far. Let's go. Come on now.
For staying positive and working through your grief about Catherine O'Hara's passing, which was a crusher. My wife was torn up about that.
I was legitimately
Catherine O'Hara.
Tears. Yeah, and then when I say very sad to hear the great Catherine O'Hara, she was part of Second City with John Candy coming up. They're both Canadians. Levy. And also because I think we didn't hear any about any medical issues and stuff ahead of time. So it wasn't like we were ready. Obviously, Home Alone's one of my favorite movies of all time, but she was an amazing actress in a lot of things, an amazing comedian. So very, very, very sad. And you saw Macaulay's post.
Yep.
He said, I thought we had more time, Mama, and some other things. Very sad. So
I knew that would get you. My wife was
busted
busted up about that. She's like, she was really bummed.
That's sad.
All right. Halftime's over. We should be like the teams practicing in California this week and have do a half-hour break in the middle so we're ready for halftime.
I like that deal. Yes. We got to crowbar it in and get better. We got to get ourselves prepared for it.
Got to make it happen. Don't you go anywhere. It's a Game Balls and Kicks of the Balls Monday, and you're in the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling through the Monday edition of the Huddle. Drew, Billy, and Armin bringing it to you. Thanks to Hunter Baumgart for that intro.
Love it. And I love the Sopranos music right at the end. Drew, yesterday I made the reference. My wife didn't get it because she didn't sit down and watch all the seasons with me of Sopranos. But a little guy was wearing a full. Correct.
How dare
Armin,
she?
Correct.
Like, come on.
Wearing like a full fleece quarter zip. And my man had that thing all the way down. I'm like, you throw a little gold chain on him and you show me that's Tony Soprano just hanging out on a Sunday watching the Jets getting all mad because nobody has put any bleeping ziti in.
That's amazing. He's
just rocking his Tony Soprano. It was awesome.
That's
got to get him a gold chain.
We're doing game balls and kicks the balls as it's a Monday tradition. And has a holdover, if you will. And we start a new tradition very soon as well. But 877-794-1973. If you're just waking up with us, welcome.
Welcome in. Welcome all.
If you were like Billy and trying to get in a quick trip at 4:45 and couldn't get in, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. You caught a fat L. But listen, there are brighter days, and then you might have a bright, shining light. Like a game ball to our friend Benjamin Yount.
Yes.
He heard my trials and tribulations this morning, Drew, trying to get the boys some dunkers, trying to grab some coffee at Quick Trip, getting locked out, and came in and supplied the dunkers, which he got the blue box. And I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know that I've ever gone with the blue box. I think I usually go classic. These are like the cream one. Phenomenal dunkers. Big fan. Armin and I also a lot of times will frequent the blueberry dunkers.
That's a good one. The blueberry dunker is a good one.
Yeah.
The pink lemonade dunker I enjoy as well, but I think that's more of a summertime dunker for me. It's a little more tart, which is totally fine.
Blueberries year round.
Blueberries year round. Yeah, 100%.
And the cherry dunkers are a revelation as well.
Really good.
Yeah, one of the great
Now,
dunkers.
you mentioned the pink lemonade. I don't know if you guys knew this before I did when I went to the consumer beverage near me or discount liquor near me.
Sure.
Do you know they're brewing summer shandy year round now?
I did not know this.
That is, as I walked up, the box has a big old tag. It says brewed year round. So even though while it was negative 7 degrees outside last week, I don't know that it felt great. But a game ball the Leinenkugels for brewing summer shandy year round and being able to brighten your vortex day.
And,
maybe spring is early, I guess.
As long as you mentioned it, because that was always a tradition, and I learned this from Jim Cantor. The first shandy of the year was always at spring training.
That's a good one.
In Arizona at American Family Fields, Phoenix. Let's get a shandy. It's the first one of the year. But game ball to Leinenkugels because their new president is friend of the program, Katie Leinenkugel.
Come on.
She has
we used to have
taken the
her on.
throne.
Yeah, we used to have her on the show years ago. And now look at her.
Absolutely.
You know?
She's been a friend for a long time.
Yeah.
She's proud of Menominee Falls. Katie and Lindsay were, they were, if The Bachelor is still a thing, they might have to be our correspondents because they used to be our Bachelor correspondents.
Yeah.
They were in, they would do a recap with us.
Them and Mac. Well, the show definitely still exists, but it's lost its luster.
But I mean, that's what I mean. Is it's still in the zeitgeist, or they're probably doing Love is Blind now or something.
I was going to say, are you even watching it, Armin?
It's hard. I mean, I did watch the Golden one for a while, and then
well,
Laura has it. I'm gonna watch
Love
it.
is Blind is, I think, maybe taking the mantle.
Oh,
I believe there's new episodes coming out pretty soon.
The thing about Love is Blind as well is, it's on Netflix, right? So you can watch it anytime you need to. It's not like you have to wait for it to come on live and things like that. We're just not a captive audience anymore. But I even think Love is Blind is starting to jump the shark a bit now because everyone's going on there to try and curate their influencer status.
Trying to say the most ridiculous stuff.
We're looking for authenticity. We don't have it, So
all right. So 877-794-1973. Game ball to Chuck from Franklin.
Come on, Chuck.
And Chuck's letting us know.
He writes the program. He said, "What the worst thing about Groundhog Day is that it's my birthday and it's tax season. I'm an accountant and never get the day off if I see my shadow." Now,
poor Chuck.
That's a game ball to Chuck and a kick to the balls to Chuck's phone that sent us that message 5 times.
Now, I'm going to say this about
I
Chuck.
love that.
Now, there's a lot of, we always have a running joke about me and blue collar workers, but much love to the blue collar workers out there early with us, helping us out. This time of the year, snowplow drivers, farmers, delivery drivers out there. But this is also the time where most blue collar of the white collar workers, the accountants, are out there during tax season. Because I don't care who you are, I can't figure that thing out. So thank goodness for all the accountants and all the tax experts doing that, because that is some work. You got to roll up your sleeves to get through some of these tax forms and stuff like that for people that have all kinds of wild stuff going on. That's one job I never want to do. So thank you to Chuck and Franklin and all the white collar, blue collar workers out there, the tax guys.
Well, and that's also one thing that as many times as I see the Intuit TurboTax NFC championship game or divisional round, that's the one thing that I will definitely lease out.
That's one.
I don't believe I'm that bad at math where I wouldn't be able to figure it out. But Drew, that's the one where my pain and suffering is a part of it.
That's right.
Because of how angry I would be at myself throughout the entire day. I appreciate getting the call in, getting the forms in, and then them saying, hey, by the way, it's all done. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, because I don't want to see all the sausages made, because at some point, it'll be like me over at Beecher Meats, and I'm spilling sausage all over the place, no pause.
That's right.
We can't be having those mistakes, and I don't want the IRS on. That is one that I will lease out forever.
I'm with you. There are certain things you decide, I think, to pay a service for. Like, I know a lot of people like to deliver food now, and I'm not that guy. I don't want to be paying extra just to deliver a breakfast sandwich on Uber Eats or DoorDash or something. Some people like it. That's fine. That'll bother me the rest of the day, because I know I could have saved the $3 going myself.
Will chat.
But there are certain things where it's absolutely worth it. That one, Billy, maybe like guys, doing roofing stuff and like stuff I'm not doing. All right. I'm not good at it. I don't want to try it. I don't want to mess up a plumber stuff. Those are worth paying the experts for. There's no doubt about that.
We talked about it earlier because we did the game ball to the NHL for the Stadium Series, Raymond James Stadium. They had, and it was 43 degrees in Tampa yesterday, but we didn't go all in. Like, they were dressed as pirates for the Gasparilla on the pregame show.
Yeah, that one was
panel.
interesting, Drew.
Mark Messier and PK Subban and Steve Levy were dressed as pirates. Did you see the walk-ins from the players?
That was impressive. The Tampa Lightning in all full uniform,
wearing full Buccaneers.
Pretty good to commit to a bit like that.
They were wearing the creamsicle color, the orange color, the old school throwback. They all had full unis on
with pads and helmets.
And then the Bruins walked in dressed as pirates as well. Then all Captain Jack Sparrows, a bunch of they committed to the bit.
That is a commitment right there.
Well, in hockey, you can't show up, right? Like, unless you are suited and booted. Like, you got to be ready to roll looks wise. It's what David Stern thought he was getting into.
I see what you mean.
I think that's what David Stern thought he was getting into.
You mean the players,
with the dress code?
The players are always
walking
dressed
into
up.
The game.
They're always wearing suits and ties.
So for them, they're like, wait, this is it? Okay, I guess.
Coats and ties, yeah.
I would like to be, I would have loved to be in that marketing room when they pitched wearing the full football uniforms.
Listen, and we know, Billy, at the AHL level, the entertainment directors are on this all the time.
On it.
I mean, the stuff we've worn for Admirals games, you can't even hold a candle to. But at the NHL level, I mean,
yeah, Wojo and his team were cooking it up yesterday.
They were.
Drew, that was exactly what I thought, and that Armin and I are going to have some interesting outfits, I would assume, for the final 2 months of the season and into the postseason.
But that's just part of what we do.
After that look,
yeah, that's part of what we do. But if the NHL's doing it now, they're taking it to that level. I mean, I can't even imagine.
I wondered if that one Chicago Wolves player that I locked eyes with during the face-off circle when I had the the Oktoberfest,
the lederhosen,
the lederhosen on,
yeah,
with the brassiere,
the female lederhosen, yeah.
And I'm staring right into this guy's soul, and he's looking like, I worked my entire life to play professional hockey, and this is this is what I got to deal with.
Right. That's
hold
part
my
of it.
beer, buddy, because it's only going to get better after that one.
As long as we're talking pucks, Bill from Madison hits us up, 877-794-1973. Hit to the balls to the Badgers men's hockey team. 0-6 since the holiday break.
Yeah, that's tough because they were rolling hot.
Yeah.
And the
dog days.
It is the dog days, but the Big Ten is also an absolute hornet's nest in college hockey, and only, I think, getting better. When you talk about NIL money coming through, Big Ten hockey is going to continue to get better. And Stadium Series was one. There was a Stadium Series game at Penn State this weekend that was pretty solid. Involved their new coaching staff slamming beers in the crowd. which I would appreciate. But
Yep.
yeah, Mike Hastings and the boys have had a tough run since this holiday break. They're also, I mean, it also is tough when Greg Gard's squad has rolled off, 7 of 8 onto the other side. You're like, well, why can't we just come out of the break like that? Good time for the week off, I think, for the Badgers basketball
That's
team.
a good point.
We were talking about it with Matt LePay last week, but be able to get some much needed rest before this run of games that they're going to play, where they're going to go to Indiana. They got Illinois on the schedule. They go to Michigan State, or do they host Michigan State?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
But Michigan State's in there as well. Like that's a daunting schedule.
Illinois, Michigan State, then they're back at Ohio State, which won't be easy, even though they handle them this week. And so talking about 2 top 10 teams on the road. That's a Peacock and a Fox game, so you get some national TV there. Ooh. Then you're home against Iowa, Oregon, and Washington to finish out February. So it's a very tough February. We've known this. However, like I said, we've talked about Matt LePay. Those are all opportunities. Don't think of them as a specter of evil dooming. These are opportunities to chunk off big meals if you're looking for tournament profiles. So I think you should look at it that way.
Good chances. And this one tastes kind of sour coming out of the mouth. But what about a game ball to Dusty May, head coach of the Michigan Wolverines?
Drew, going on there. He does a pretty good job.
And did you see the video of him during shoot around right after they let the students first in at the Breslin Center? He walks in during shoot around. There's about 75 Armansari and Nick Bruzewitzes around.
That's right.
And he gets booed with the bleep you Dusty chants for a good 30 to 40 seconds. My man takes a deep breath, sits down courtside right in front of the students, crosses the legs, puts the arm up on the chair, and just soaks in it.
That's amazing.
For a good minute. It was, the kids say aura. That was aura on different levels. And then his team goes out and they were blitzing them in the first half. I ended up getting come back on. They ended up winning the game by double digits. So they ran away with it. But that moment right there, we need more hate in sports. And Dusty May just said, hold on, they don't like me? Let me kick my feet up right in their home and just bask in all the hate. I loved it. We need more of that one.
That's a good play.
It was so good.
We always loved it when student sections loved it, when the coaches would acknowledge us one way or the other. There's some sort of interplay one way or the other. I mean, the excitement of, it's one thing when your own coach is giving you the clap and the salute and all that stuff. But when the other opposing team coach knows he heard you one way or the other, positive or negative, you kind of love that, and you love the interplay.
Who in the old Big East would give you a little acknowledgement? Well, Huggy Bear?
Well, it was Huggins a little bit, and it was Rick Pitino a little bit when he was with Louisville. But the one I really remember was when Gino first came in with UConn to the Al McGuire Center to the women's, and there was like 15 of us that were really giving it to him all game. I mean, there's not that much distance in there. And he said in the post game, like, can't believe the things I heard. I thought this was a Catholic school. I thought I couldn't believe the things I heard. And it was like, they ended up winning, but it was a close game. And you're not that far from their bench, and we were just giving it to him, and he was clearly not enjoying himself. So
love that.
That was the one thing I really remember as much as, because the Bradley Center was huge. You can't get as close. But
what are they now? 22-0 this year, by the way.
Probably. I mean, they're awesome. I don't think they lost yet. Yeah, I don't think they lost
won
yet.
Yesterday, and they're 22-0. Spot of breaking news from the National Football League today. They've already announced earlier that the deal went through government approval, and ESPN is taking a 10% ownership stake, and they're taking over the NFL Films and Red Zone,
NFL Red Zone Network, and that kind of stuff.
The quality of those products will drop
for sure.
Just saying. Yeah. So that would be a kick.
Sadly, it has over the last 3 years.
The announcement from the NFL: the NFL is going back to Spain. They will return to Spain in 2026, part of a multi-year partnership with Madrid, which means the NFL will contest games this year in Melbourne, Rio de Janeiro, Munich, 3 in London and the UK, and Madrid.
Oh, so that's upwards of double-digit games already, right?
It would be
3 in Ireland or 3 in London, UK, and 9. So they're
3 in London, Madrid, Munich, Rio, and Melbourne.
Yeah, sorry, my math is bad, but they're getting very close to having at least half the league.
So that's 7 games.
7 games, 14 teams. That's a
Jacksonville go twice again.
Yeah, right. Jacksonville might go twice. Minnesota might go twice again. But that's at least a third of the league playing an international game. And within the next 5 years, it'll be damn near everyone.
The Packers now, they're probably on the clock to go back. And there was a lot of rumors that they're going to go to Munich this year and play a game in Germany. But yeah, so they're back in Madrid. And so a multi-year partnership with Madrid. So I didn't know they were going to Melbourne. That's got to be West Coast.
That's a long
That's
trip.
a Rams trip because I know they went there during the preseason, something during camp this year to kind of like showcase it and like, oh, look at how many fans we have and how we'll be able to travel it. But that's a wild time change deal too. Like, I mean, you want to talk about the bye week right after. That game might have to be on like Friday to be able to give you a little bit of a full bounce back. And that's been the other kind of, online rumbling that you've heard of with different streamers. With the amount of international games, it's a way for them to get around the Sports Broadcasting Act of whatever that is, 1962 or 1969 or whatever that is, where they could be free and clear and play a bunch of those games on like Fridays and Saturday nights and make them even more crowbarred. Because I don't know how you play that game in the 8:30 window.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I don't know that one's going to be in their pregame or in their Sunday slate game. That's going to be an interesting way of how they finagle those games around.
Hey, yesterday with our first Sunday football free in 5 months, I did avail myself. I did get in a long workout. And during the course of this, Bill, I pushed myself and I realized, God, thank God for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Come on, Dr.
Our
Bong
pals
Company.
there, Dr. Matthew Bong took care of my hip, replaced that sucker. Brand new hip I've got. Feeling so much better. It was a year and a half of misery and limping around and being an idiot, not getting it looked at. Went and got an x-ray. And he just said, dude, you need a new hip.
Yeah.
Get one. Let's schedule it. Let's do it. I did it. OrthoWisconsin.com is the website. World-class care right here at home in Wisconsin. Everything about it is top-notch. New clinic opening in Johnson Creek. Check them out at OrthoWisconsin.com. If you have a sports injury or your kid gets hurt playing, go to the best. OrthoWisconsin.com. If you have a chronic pain in your knee, hip, back, neck, elbow, wrist, spine, whatever it might be, go get it looked at. You will not regret it. I consider it one of the best decisions of my adult life. Go to OrthoWisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates Wisconsin. There is a difference.
All right, guys, I've been monitoring closely. After the break, we will have a result from Gobbler's Knob and Punxsutawney.
We are
goody.
Yeah.
We are going to have that. We will have the update on Punxsutawney Phil and Groundhog Day, and we'll have a new segment for you. A new daily chuckle for you.
A good one, and it sparks up coming up next.
It's sparking up next. It's the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Let's celebrate all, young, old, babies, or millennial, and kick off America's semi-quincentennial. We look to the future and not just the past. So I suppose this party could use a forecast. It is my job this February 2 to look to the skies and report back to you that there is a shadow here on my ground. 6 more weeks of winter abound.
6 more weeks of winter.
Man, that's a disappointment, but we didn't think it's any different, right?
Punxsutawney Phil is just a rodent.
I hate that rat.
But listen, before you get down in the dumps, let me offer a glimmer of hope to everybody. Yes, a glimmer of hope that Punxsutawney Phil may be just a narrative award. I mean, resting on his past laurels. I mean, is this guy more reputation than reality? His rankings are pretty low when you look at the most accurate weather predicting animals.
What does Ken Palm have on Phil?
He's only 39% accuracy, all right? Staten Island Chuck, it is 85%. General Beauregard Lee, which is in Georgia, is 80%. Little Lander in Wyoming is 75% accuracy.
Well,
Gertie the Groundhog in Illinois is 65, and our own Jimmy the Groundhog in Sun Prairie is 60%. Now, I don't have a Jimmy the Groundhog report yet, but our own Jimmy the Groundhog is 20% more accurate. So maybe he'll see something different. I don't need a rodent
to tell me that we have at least 4 more months of winter.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, we had Brooke Brighton be able to do that to us on Friday.
Poor Mojave Max in Nevada is only 25%. These are electric rankings.
See, now I would have thought if you're in a better climate, like good luck being wrong, right? Like the one in Georgia. Yeah. Guess what? It's gonna start getting nice in Georgia. And we are thinking of all those folks in the Tennessee Valley area, and all of those in Nashville. Like that is a brutal time, and we really hope. Listen, we hope that you all get through it, and we know you will because power of man is a powerful thing. But it's gonna start getting nice in Georgia. I think that guess is probably gonna be good. Whether you guess it's gonna be 6 more weeks of winter, or you start guessing that by Valentine's Day you can start rocking shorts, and not just because you're a fellow fat, like you just because you want to, and the weather.
I just want it. Yeah, we don't get spring here. We have instant summer. We go from putting that you put the down jackets away, and then it's like okay, shorts.
Yeah, this was Armin's gripe last year. I mean, Armin gets really, really feisty about it. That's why I like fall, because we have fall.
We do.
Rolls right through.
Started on that one.
That's why I say, we've made it. Hey, we're on to February, right?
Let's go. We're on to Cincinnati.
It's February 2nd. January is over. It pretty much sucked. It was pretty cold.
Brutal. Yes.
And so we're through that month. But the cruelest months here are April and May usually.
Yeah.
April and the first half of May usually suck.
Because April, all you have is optimism and excitement.
Longer days with cold, rainy, ugly weather.
I agree about April, but hold on about May. Ooh. The reputation of May is totally unfair. There's a lot of great, wonderful days in May. And not only that, we have the prospect of better ones to come.
Sometimes Memorial Day, you don't even crack 55.
Okay, by the lake, yes. I'll give you that. If you're by the big air conditioner, I agree. But you can't tell me May's not better than November or
October. Not a chance. October's way better.
Okay, October, you have a point, but
I know May's it's a big party and they're drinking Yingling or Iron City or whatever they drink in Punxsutawney, right? It's like
it's a party there. This is like a bender. Look at the live stream; they're dancing.
It's their opening day.
They're going crazy.
Right? Okay, great.
One guy's wearing a big clock like Flav,
More power to you. But the only good thing about Groundhog Day is the movie with Bill Murray. If you've never seen that movie, it's fantastic.
Awesome.
Do we know if it's on a streamer? I'll check it out.
It's on a stream. You should check it out today. It's probably on TBS all day.
Oh, that's fair.
Right? It's like
it's going to get the Christmas story
run. Yeah, no doubt. But it's a fantastic movie. Bill Murray is fantastic in it. The plot is great. It's something that you should probably watch.
I'm glad people are hot as well on Punxsutawney Phil, because it really is a stupid road. And I do appreciate the fact that we have gotten this. Is Groundhog Day even a Hallmark holiday?
I don't think so.
No
have
one's
you ever gotten a card
for it?
I know one guy from college that used to give a card.
However, it's locked in. It's entrenched.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no taking Groundhog Day off the calendar, even though it's dumb and it doesn't have any real bearing on anything.
It's a tradition that will never change. It's nice to know there are some traditions that will last. Like Sweetest Day might not happen one day. We already know what's going on with Columbus Day. But listen, all right, let me tell you something. No one's changing Groundhog Day.
It's Armin. It's about as And I would say as firm as Super Bowl Sunday, but Super Bowl Sunday, people are always trying to put on Saturday.
So
they're
that
always
might
trying
change.
to boot it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so sick of that. That was a debate we had 20 years ago. It's like we've
Get over
seeded
it.
that.
Yeah.
Like, it's never.
I guess
gonna
I won't.
happen.
It's on a Saturday.
I guess I won't bring that up this.
Armin won't end it. Armin won't end
Hot
it.
take hump day, you can have at it.
Oh yeah, that's
Super Bowl should be
Wednesday
on
all
Saturday.
over.
It's never gonna happen. Narrator, it's never gonna happen. But
No.
Billy, we got a new segment to debut today.
Come on now. As our friends with Happy Place Hemp have returned and they are ready to spark up with us the wake and bake story of the day. Now, granted, even past the West Coast, if they're waking up trying to get the news of Groundhog Day, it's past 4:20 in the AM. But Drew, how about 7:30 for a story and a deal that only I think wake and bakers could possibly love?
Exactly. Now, yeah, this is brought to us by Happy Place Hemp. Go to happyplacehemp.com, and if you use the code HUDDLE, you get 25% off your order and free shipping.
And free shipping.
They've sweetened the
free
offer.
shipping.
Now, all the previous codes that we had are being phased out.
Mm-hmm.
They'll still work for a little bit, but they're eventually going to be phased out.
This one's better.
This one's better.
Way
Huddle
better. Way
gets you
better.
25% off and free shipping. We recommend, now that dry January or damp January or whatever January you celebrated is over, we still recommend the Drift Seltzer and the Drift Gummies. But they have a whole line of gummies, a whole line of lotions and potions and muscle creams, pet products. Check that all out at happyplacehemp.com. Rob and Chris, two great dudes, been with us for a long time, working out of Muskego, filling those orders. And this Wake and Bake segment is in their honor. So check them out at happyplacehemp.com. Use the code HUDDLE. Next time you reload, use the code HUDDLE and you'll get 25% off plus free shipping.
In a world,
even more money.
And in a world that all we want to do is shop local and reinvest in our community with our friends at Happy Place Hemp in Muskego. Because also, if you go in and talk to them, they'll want to talk about the teams. And I imagine they got some good Bucks conversation in there. All right,
sure.
Drew.
Yeah.
Now, this has first come to my attention here, but after a little bit of digging off of, well, I had to do a little journalism because it was a journalist that brought this to my attention. These have been up since 2024. Mostly in Terminal A of the Boston Logan Airport.
Okay.
Where Albert Breer, the Monday morning quarterback of Sports Illustrated, put a picture of a White Castle vending machine.
Okay.
And said, at the airport, and not sure if I should be impressed or disgusted. The White Castle Crave & Go is a touchscreen vending machine that gives legendary flavor ready in minutes. And Armin, on the bottom, your favorite part.
Yeah.
The white casing with the nice blue column there with your credit card option.
Of course.
It says, no tips, no fees, no lines. Crave & Go, the White Castle vending machine. Now, it operates an automated vending machine kiosks, notably in Terminal A at the Boston Logan Airport.
I didn't know about this.
They've been seen at events like the National Restaurant Show. It dispenses a hot 4-pack of sliders, including original, cheese, and jalapeno.
Come on now.
In approximately 1 to 2 minutes, using a specialized steaming tray. They had videos and everything. They first hit the market around June of 2024. But it offers a hot, fresh cooked slider. Menu options also sometimes, if you're lucky, cheddar, bacon, or chicken sliders as well.
How about that?
Now, I don't know how many times and how many Happy Place Hemp runs you'd potentially have to have. How many Drift gummies I'd potentially have had to have before getting into that airport terminal. To look at that vending machine and say, you know what? There's breakfast.
Wow.
And maybe even worse, could you imagine being the poor soul on a Southwest flight in 32B when Buddy in 32A pulls out the box of jalapeno White Castle sliders?
Yeah, you're jealous and scared at the same time, right? I think,
In my experience, White Castle sliders could probably be replace Miralax's colonoscopy prep.
I want to say this, though, for all of you recoiling in disgust.
Billy, because you ever eat like 10 or 12 of those things, it hits your lower intestine like a 9-iron hitting wet sand.
Yeah,
Dude, it is a quick trigger on that one.
That's
because quick.
Their entire business is based on the Crave case that you have to binge eat them. Like that's
you have to eat them. You have to eat lots of them.
I'm going to say this: anyone recoiling in disgust at a vending machine White Castle in the airport, I don't know how gourmet you think the process actually is for the real one.
That's
so
true.
It can't be much different. And I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'll try it. I'm that guy. I'm that guy at 5 a.m. right before I get in. I've been in the terminal every now and then thinking, boy, if there's one thing I need right before I get on this flight is a White Castle burger.
What's the
live dangerously
strangest food item you've ever purchased from a vending machine? Like people who've been to Asia will tell us.
You can get some wild stuff,
man.
Like 5-star gourmet meals. You can get anything.
I've gotten pizza definitely from a vending machine before.
Did you ever get one of those? They have cupcakes and stuff. They have cakes and stuff, desserts.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that I got anything. I got pickles in the vending machine.
Everything now is like what we have here at the Megaplex with the Vendo World.
Yeah.
But it used to be the thing like back at Channel 12, Needles coined it the Wheel of Death.
The Wheel of Death, right?
You
Right.
had to, you had to, and then push the little window over and grab what you needed. Yeah, the Wheel of Death. But
tuna salad. There's like a tuna salad
of course,
in there, stuff like that.
Hard-boiled egg.
It's an incredible decision. I always thought we peaked on vending machines when you had the little box going and sliding over 3, rolling up.
That was the
grabbing your Diet Coke, running back. Like, dude, now that is why robots exist.
Well,
that's what we need.
Your own little claw game, but you'd always win.
But you always won.
You always won with the soda.
That's the perfect story for Wake and Bake in honor of Happy Place Hemp.
Yes.
Because, again, use the code HUDDLE for 25% off plus free shipping. Don't forget that. Free shipping. You can save even more money with Rob and Chris. So they're phasing out all the previous codes that we've used on other shows. And we're just going to town on this one.
The worst thing is I can just Albert Breer is I don't know that he's got a connecting flight. I don't know if they fly from Boston to San Francisco.
I'm sure they do, yeah.
I think JetBlue probably does.
I bet.
That's a 5.5, 6 hour flight.
Cross country. Yeah, that's a risk you're taking. Let's just put it that way. But you're going to be hungry.
I don't even know that it's a risk. I think it's a guarantee.
Oh, yeah.
Like you eat that White Castle box before you get on that flight. You have surrendered yourself to what is happening in the middle, right as you're crossing over the planes.
You do. But here's the tough thing about a flight like that. You're going to have something. I mean, that's too long to not eat. Those of us, I'm going to use that term again, but those of us raw dog these flights,
That's true.
It's hard to raw dog a 5-hour flight. You're going to get hungry.
Would even you have to buy something for that flight?
I'm not buying. I'm bringing a snack in my backpack.
Oh, that's fair.
You think I'm buying airport snacks? You forget who I am. You know me, brother. I'm going to Quick Trip and loading up. I buy snacks for a Brewer game. I'm not going to buy airport now.
How disrespectful is it for you to say that I'm going to Huntington Nudes and buying me a bag of peanut
I
M&Ms?
do get airport coffee. I only have, can't really bring a hot coffee. I'll get airport coffee, but.
This brings it full circle because when we started today, Billy couldn't go to Quick Trip because it was closed.
Sure.
And he couldn't get coffee and Dunkers.
Correct.
And then our buddy Ben Yount brought us the Dunkers. But my question to you, Armin, is when you roll in, like Billy, you can make coffee at home, but that's making noise, potentially waking up the boys.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
You're probably better having it be a road game. But Armin, when you pull into the Megaplex here, are you usually the first person to arrive? Do you have to start the coffee?
So that's funny you asked that because it's usually Dolph. Dolph is usually the first one in, and he's got the coffee going already, and he makes great coffee here. Dolph does something special. I don't know what it is. But I came in today and I'm like, no coffee. I'm like, I realized Dolph's not here yet.
Without our captain.
Dolph's in the Dominican Republic with boots on the beach. So I had to make that pot, put it in my Milwaukee PC mug that I got for free.
You're damn right.
With that purchase. And I had to be the first one.
Now,
it's either me or Greg John usually.
Well, and this week also, our fearless leader, Doug Russell's in the building. At least I saw him today.
Doug's producing that show.
Doug appears to be keeping it stocked over there on the coffee pot. So it's been roaring here today. But also once our boy gets in here, once Mike gets in here, that thing is taken care of.
Yeah.
And if anybody has left that thing on and it is still running, there will be some conversations that had to be had.
I can imagine.
So now the coffee pot is in safe harbor. But without Dolph, it's going to be a tenuous start. But I thought we battled through halftime here today pretty well.
Great job.
Yeah.
Great job, guys.
In advance of Sunday, the team's got to stop for a half hour in the middle of practice, and let's try to stay, go somewhere, just chill.
In honor of the NFL, in honor of Super Bowl Sunday, we are changing up our halftime routine, and I think we've handled it better than others. And Drew, that a lot of times is depending on who wins the game. How you come out of the half is ultimately how you're going to be able to determine the victor on Sunday.
Yeah, and make sure there's no like power outage because that's like another halftime.
Yeah, it would be
great Super Bowl memories.
I still cannot fathom that.
All right.
It's one of my favorite conspiracy moments of all time.
Keep me honest on this. Armin, take a memo. We need to, at some point this week, everybody will do like, what are your great Super Bowl memories? No, what are the worst memories of the Super Bowls? And I don't mean just the one where, Elway helicopter and all that stuff for the Packers lost. But I mean, what are the worst Super Bowl memories? That's near the top. The blackout.
That is right near the top.
Got to be near the top.
And also, the own personal blackout. And as much as my young son was getting a game ball earlier for allowing us to soak in the hour-long 1996 Super Bowl champion
let's go
video, he also then saw the YouTube suggestion come up, Packers and Broncos. Said, Daddy, Packers, Broncos. We watched that. Buddy, I don't think we want to watch that. No, we want to watch that.
No, we
don't think we want to watch that.
I lived through it. You don't want to see it.
He learned how it ends. And man, that scab is a tough one to rip open in that 20-minute montage.
Ouch. That's rough. Well, just show him the Leroy Butler YouTube again.
I was going to say, I think that one's going to get worn out just about as much as Yelich running over the catcher and stealing home. That's played like a boomerang in our house. So spring training so we're inside of 2 weeks away for pitchers and catchers reporting.
Yep.
And World Baseball Classic, as much as we're excited about the Olympics coming up, I'll tell you that I have my eyes on coming up in a month. That is going to be awesome in March.
Giddy up. Absolutely. 877-794-1973. Get us your last minute game balls and kicks. The talk and text line presented by Nicolay Law never closes, but our show is quickly coming to an end. We're going to be back to close up shop. It's the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, worldwide, the iHeartRadio app, X, Facebook, and YouTube on the stream.
And some good news for you guys as we enter our last segment.
Ooh.
Jimmy the Groundhog, our own in Sun Prairie, did not see a shadow. That means
Come on, Jim.
early spring. Let's go, Jimmy. So there you go.
I don't know, Jim. I don't know, Jim.
So there you go. Do you trust local or national reporting? Come on now.
Well, I trust.
I'm local.
Well,
So Jimmy the Groundhog over in Sun Prairie says early spring. He's got a better record than track record than Punxsutawney Phil. So
Drew, you're saying it was, it's 6 or 7 o'clock.
7,
you don't know necessarily what it was.
Well, it depends.
Difference there.
It's one of the great joys I've had during this nightmarish couple of weeks of Giannis rumors and stuff is seeing Shams and Windy and these, Zach Lowe and the NBA insiders, they're palpably frustrated and pissed that there isn't any development, no movement on this story. And they're the ones who have been forcing it down our gullet for the last year.
Yeah.
And it's there's nothing happening on this. We all have fatigue and they're at the center of it and they created the fatigue.
But we have fatigue from you all, from you people. It's as much as Groundhog Day, it feels like a Festivus deal. I got a lot of problems with you people on this network that are the ones that are trying to tell us that there's this big controversy going on because we've never heard it from either side inside the locker room.
In what ways has this story advanced? Because there's nobody on the record, hardly anybody talks on the record anymore, but there's nothing from the Bucks or from Giannis. Giannis hasn't asked for a trade and that I guess but it's being back channeled or whatever. And if he gets traded before Thursday, I will tip my cap to those guys for being on top of it. But if he doesn't, it's you've been saying this for a couple years now. For a lot of Giannis's time in Milwaukee, they've been trying to get him out of here, right?
When was the series when Malika asked Giannis at the post-game presser? Was that the 19 Eastern Conference Finals?
That was, yeah. Was it when they lost to Toronto?
They lost to Toronto, and right away he's like, "Don't ask me that question.
Don't ask
me
right away." But it just
Chris had to.
the great meme of Chris Middleton, I don't know.
What was it? Maybe. Adversity? What was it?
What was it? Yeah, and this whole the way the whole arc of it has gone. So, and Jim Ozarski is one of the few guys saying he could still stay.
Sure,
Giannis likes money, and the Bucks can offer him money, and
that's a big part of this: money and comfortability, and the ability to live your life and the pleasures as to where you've been and the routes that you've had.
Did the story did they put the billows to it, and did it start to to spark up more because the deadline's approaching? Because they're like, oh, the Bucks are listening to aggressive offers. Okay, well, how's that different from another offer?
The verbiage,
now they're aggressive.
The verbiage changes, yeah.
Yeah, it's the wording has changed, but of substance, nothing. The story has not advanced at all in the last couple of weeks.
No, the only thing that I think I guess I could accept is an advancement in the conversation, Drew, would be the Bucks' willingness to listen, because I don't know that they would have been really willing to listen. It didn't seem like they were all that interested in the alleged conversations that happened in New York, or with New York in the offseason. But until there's actual back and forth, any kind of aggressive offer, well, that's a very subjective adjective. It's aggressive to somebody, but Draymond Green, Brandon Podziemski, and Jonathan Kuminga to me is not all that aggressive.
Not that aggressive. And it's the old, again, two great lines from Doug Melvin, former Brewers GM. First is, my house isn't for sale, but if someone drives by and pulls up the driveway and rings the doorbell and says, I'll give you $3 million for it, we'll talk.
We could have a conversation.
Right. Yeah. And then teams are having talks about what it would take to get Giannis. And then I love Buster Olney, is one of my favorite people, but he would always throw notes out there and throw chum in the water saying, the Brewers have had internal talks, or the Yankees have had internal talks about acquiring, Giovanni Gallardo or whatever it might be, internal talks. And one time Doug, he's like, what does that mean? He's like, we sat at dinner last night saying, wouldn't it be great if we had Pujols? I guess we had internal talks about acquiring Albert Pujols.
Pujols.
That was he was saying, and he cut down to that's what are we advancing? What are we saying? Yes.
What does this?
It's what they do all the time,
right? That's what you're paid to do, is speculate as to what could possibly come down the pike.
You're trying to make the best fits and look around the league at but they hardly ever get executed. But a lot of trades are talked about and don't get executed.
No, and I also think maybe now there's some possibility or some openness to it, but this is where I thought Jim's reporting was pretty pertinent and different from everybody else's, where I would suspect with a new acting president and a new acting ownership group, right? With the transfer of power and there would be some questions as to how are we going forward, what's changing, and maybe that's where the real internal conversation would be. Like, is this where we see the business going for the next 5 years? But if anybody's in that building and they want to get out of the Giannis business, I don't know that person remains in that building very often, because it appears that they're really aligned in saying we're going to figure out however we have to get through this year, get John Horst, who, this is the other part of Jim's reporting, was like throwing some kind of waving the flag in front of guys like me that was like, I don't know, is John Horst making the trade? Like, are they going to allow him that possibility? They gave him a contract extension last year. They clearly trust him to do what he wants to do and what he thinks is going to put them in the best position to win.
That's valid, but they also might want a medal.
Right. Yeah, so they might want a little bit of hand in the say.
They want it. They might. So stay tuned. We got till Thursday.
But if Jimmy Haslam's history would show anything, he's going to find any way possible to throw more money at Giannis to keep him than to move off of a player that is as transformational to a business and a team as he is.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of also Horst. I mean, he's always tried to win. He hasn't tried to do it. He's always been aggressive in winning. So we'll see.
Well, he's thrown trades at it.
Yeah.
Jimmy Haslam has said, wait, how much money can we give him? Give him that. And then let's figure out a way to give him $50 million more. Right? Like Jimmy Haslam talks in dollars and cents, and he's like, let's figure out how to throw some money at this problem, and it'll work.
Do a Clippers thing. Give him a no-show job or something.
Can we get a tree company?
We already employ some of his brothers, so I mean, come on.
Can't do crypto. I think that one's out of the list now.
That's out of it. Oh man, this morning just flew by. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Monday edition. Oh, we'll fire up some prop bets. We're getting closer. Super Bowl 60. We were at Radio Row, and it doesn't really come to life until midweek.
No,
until that's when there's churn and there's buzz. About
this was when you could go and get multiple rounds of the free food, though.
Yeah,
so Monday and Tuesday was kind of nice that way.
I was all over that, man.
It was absolutely nice. We'll fire it up tomorrow. We'll do a little buying or selling. Our new segment will be back, the Wake and Bake segment. We'll see you at 5 a.m.
Peace.